NerdyNeo on the mic. NerdyNeo on the mic tells a story. Open mic, a world of digital glory. Talking quests and pixelated dreams. Gamers journey on the mainstream. Open mic with a gaming twist. Press start and raise your fist. From consoles old to new. Every game a brand new crew. Week by week a new guest appears, sharing love for gaming through the years. Button mashing tales of late night kills. Level up, adrenaline thrill. Open mic with a gaming twist. Press start and raise your fist. From consoles old to new. Every game a brand new crew. From pixel art to high-def screens. Open worlds and cutscenes. These questions deep they go. Discovering every game in tow.
What's up, everyone? Hello and good evening, and welcome to another episode of Open Mic. Shout out to Nerd Slap for that awesome intro. As always gets me hyped. It is time to, well, not fully resume because I'll be taking next week off of streaming as well, and then after that I'll be back to my regularly scheduled program. But it's good to be back for a real episode of Open Mic with a guest because it has been over 2 months. The last one was on May 15th with someone I think my guest is associated with. But what's up, everyone? Let's have a great episode of Open Mic. Let's say hi to my guest. And hello, Rinzler. What's up? How's it going tonight?
What's up, man? Good evening. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad we were able to get a chance to talk and have you on just to have a great conversation about gaming. So,
Yes, sir.
what I was alluding to was my last real episode of Open Mic with a guest was on May 15th because I did one after that solo, and then I had like a summer break, and I'm almost back to my regularly scheduled program. But before I went on my break, that last guest was Farsi, who I believe you know.
Yes.
So
Yeah, we're both part of the Dutch Butters Gaming in the Salty Nerd Discord. Yeah. Just,
yep, I figured as
supporting the
much.
channel. Shout out.
So
yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, so she's great. So, but yes, so Rinzler here I became acquainted with because of shout out to my peeps right here, the Salty Nerd Podcast, because when they started covering Helldivers, they blew up and built a huge Helldivers community. Farsi and her husband are in it, and Rinzler is too. And I think Rinzler discovered me when I was in the Salty Nerd studio for the Vegas meetup. Is that correct? Do you remember?
Probably. I think I seen your name around the Discord a few times. I think we chatted, just commented a couple things on games. And yeah, it was like a quick connection for sure.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
cool. Well, good to have you on. And we got Clan Doran Gaming in chat. What's up, Clan? I have not seen you in a while, but good to see you. Is that someone you are familiar with as well over from the
Yep.
Okay, I thought
Oh,
so.
yes.
I was like, I have
Another
a feeling
fellow
that's
A-teamer.
another Salty Nerd Podcast person, or well, maybe not in
Yep.
general, but more so the Helldivers community that they've built.
Oh yeah, yeah. Him and Farsi. They're all, we're all pretty big gamers over there. Spreading our wings in other games, but Helldivers is, pretty strong core. And I know we'll get into it. I'm obviously excited for Helldivers coming to Xbox later August, man.
I was just gonna mention that because I played it on Steam when it came out. One of my friends was gracious enough to gift it to me, so I've not put a whole lot of time into it yet. I've got like 20 hours, so I'm still only like level like 17 or 18 or something. But my main console is
Nice.
Xbox, so when it got announced coming to Xbox, I'm like, yes, because I got a bunch of people on
Yes.
Xbox, so I'm looking forward to playing with. So is that mean that you're also an Xbox guy mainly?
I have an Xbox, but I've been mostly maining PlayStation lately.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, I mean, with Helldivers for sure, it's just that's the only platform I can play it on at the moment. But yeah, I've already told one of my friends who has an Xbox, that I'll be getting it for him if he doesn't get it first. But yeah, I know you're excited to play with friends on there, and it's just I'd love to see the whole Xbox crew and see the channel grow from that more as well. Also, I want to squad up with you sometime. That'd be cool.
Absolutely.
Um,
I mean, we could do that.
however which
Not
way.
anytime, but we could do that
Yeah,
now because I do have it
yeah,
on
agreed.
Steam. But yeah, one of my best friend in real life, he only games on Xbox. He doesn't have like a gaming PC or anything, so he's looking
Okay.
forward to it. So we play. So my favorite game of all time is Mass Effect 3, and we still regularly play the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer a couple times a month. So once Helldivers comes to Xbox, it might become our new regular co-op game.
Awesome. Well, yeah, would love to join up with you guys over there sometime.
Yeah, and the fact
Schedules
that it's
work.
got crossplay is fantastic.
Yes, it's awesome, dude.
The one bummer that I found is that there's no cross progression, so I will have to start from scratch. But given that I haven't put a
Yep.
whole lot of time into it, it's not that big of a deal. But it would have been nice if I could have transferred my progress.
Yeah, yeah, it's one of those games that, it is kind of fun starting over and in earning, unlocking everything. Like, I almost want to start a new account just to restart sometimes.
Yeah, so that totally makes sense. I totally get it. So, I think you've been a bit more active in the hell diving than I have. What level
Yeah.
is your character?
Currently 134.
Whew,
Yeah, it's like the home stretch to 150. Well, probably after 140, but I got over 500 hours in the game, like between 500 and 600 hours, and
nice.
that's with my measly, few hours I can scrounge every week, between parenting and stuff. So usually it's late at night when everybody's going to sleep that I'll jump on and try to jump on with the boys, squad up, and get some missions done, and that's about it. A little
Yeah, it
bit of time on
definitely
the
helps
weekends.
that salty nerds, Alex and although it's mainly Dutch is the one
Yeah,
mainly running that, but all being in the same time zone definitely helps.
yeah. Yeah, it's been my main game for the last year at least. I mean, as far as multiplayer games, and you hear this from a lot of the people, they just, for us, there wasn't really anything like that multiplayer wise since like the Halo days. It was like
Mm.
it kind of rekindled that old, romping around on a warthog together in like a big team battle setting.
Yeah,
It's just fun and the chaos.
yeah. The thing that I love about it is because I I wouldn't ever say I was like in love with PvP games, but I enjoyed
Yeah.
PvP games for a while. But I think the last time I was like I regularly played a PvP game was probably around Halo Reach time, and I've
Hmm.
just like I've not touched almost not touched PvP since, except for I'm an achievement
Same.
hunter and a completionist. So if I
Okay.
play a game that has PvP achievements, I'll play it, which is basically like the only reason I ever played the PvP in like Destiny is for the achievements that required it. But if it doesn't require multiplayer, I will almost never touch multiplayer. So
Yeah.
I don't care for PvP, but I absolutely love co-op stuff. So
Yeah. I'm with you
Helldivers
there.
definitely scratches that itch. Like I said,
Yep.
me and my buddy played Mass Effect 3 multiplayer, which is you and up to three other people, so 4-player squad. It's a horde mode, so it's increasing waves of difficulty, but it's all co-op, so you're not playing against other people. One
Yep.
of the other ones that I really enjoyed playing with him and a couple other buddies was Ghost Recon Wildlands. So I just love the co-op stuff. So I'm looking forward
Right.
to that being our most likely being our new regular thing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely like the PvE aspect, teaming up and trying to get past, insane odds, and Helldivers has definitely been a cool. I mean, it's crazy how like phenomenally successful it is for a PvE, online game. It's pretty cool just to see that. And I don't know, the game has so many things that it did right. I think the multiplayer aspect, going onto your buddy's ship and joining up and, selecting missions, everything, the music, right? They just nailed so
Such
many
a
aspects that
great theme
yeah,
song.
every time you're dropping down and that theme hits, it's so satisfying, and then, everything about it is like cinematic. So it just keeps
Yes.
you hooked.
So yeah, Clan's saying can't wait for the ODSTs divers to drop
Yep.
in Helldivers too. Yep, exactly. It's yeah, it's I heard that some I don't remember who or what team it was, but someone pitched an ODST uh game, not like the ODST like the game that does exist, but basically exactly like Helldivers in the Halo universe. And Microsoft shot it down. It's like, nope, we're not doing that. It's
Yeah.
like, God, you're freaking idiots. Like, look how good, pretty
Yeah.
well Helldivers has been doing. So,
Yeah, that was probably a missed opportunity, but I mean, who knows what it would have been like, you know? I mean, it's like you could make another Helldivers game, but it probably wouldn't even live up to it, you know?
yeah,
I mean, there was so much word of mouth with Helldivers and people are just like, "You gotta get this game," you know? But yeah, I mean, it probably would have been big just with the name of Microsoft and, the studios behind it, but I just wonder about that too.
yeah. And the whole like narrative kind of going on behind the scenes for the Helldivers, like, oh, you got to overtake this planet, or otherwise, this thing gets lost, and if you win, then these factories are able to produce these things, and like that whole aspect is really cool that I don't think I've ever
Yeah.
seen in any other type of game before.
Yeah, the community aspect has been, I think, probably the biggest and coolest part about it, for me at least, just all the community content, the videos, I mean, the animations and, GIFs, memes. I mean, you can name it. And the community's really come through. Even the story aspects, stuff that we've accomplished, it's like the community has driven a lot of the biggest events, during the last year of the game's release. Um, I think that's like a big driving force, and what's great is that the studio and the devs totally, they thrive off of it too, and they respect it, they acknowledge it, and that's been really cool to see.
So speaking of that, I wasn't there yet, but were you part of Malevolent Creek?
Yeah,
So you
yeah,
got the
man.
cape then?
I got the cape. That
Nice.
was crazy times, man.
Yeah,
Good
I
old
remember
Malevolent.
hearing about it, but I didn't have the game quite yet. I got it not long after the game came out,
Yeah,
but yeah, I wasn't there on day one, so I was not able to be part of that. But that's awesome.
yeah, yeah. The creep was something else.
So yeah, the last time I played was even before they introduced the third faction, so it's been a while for me.
That's good. Yeah, no, that's good, man. I mean, and there's so many. What's crazy? There's so many great games um, right now that even Helldivers, still trying to put a few hours into it at least every week. But like I said, we're spreading our wings into other games as well.
Yep, I have like a bunch of like really good games that I've been meaning to get to for years. I just haven't because they're really long and I like
Yeah,
getting through a lot of games quickly. So
yeah,
like I had like on the backlog is Witcher 2 and 3, and well, by the time I actually get around to them, maybe the Witcher 1 remake will be out, so I'll be able to do the whole trilogy, but it's like there's such
nice.
long games, specifically the third one. It's like
Yeah,
it's just going to
yeah,
take so much commitment to play that one when I have all these other, shorter games that I want to play as well. So, it's,
yeah. Witcher 3 is a masterpiece. I think I'm like right at the point of beating it, like at the
okay.
final mission, but I'm like still holding off on it. And I haven't even gone through the DLC, which I hear is like a whole huge like another game. You can put like another 30 plus hours into, and like
Yeah.
that's insane.
I've heard that the Witcher 3 DLC is some of the best DLC in existence, and the
Yeah.
DLC itself is like big enough to be other games' entire game. So
Yep.
I am looking
Yep.
forward to it. It's just with such a huge time sink of a game, it's like I don't know when I'm ever going to get around to it. Cyberpunk as well. Uh, all those giant RPGs, really.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Clan says, I need a
Um.
Krogan skin for my heavy armor sets in Helldivers. That would be awesome. They did a crossover with Mass Effect, because turn your localization in Helldivers 2 to German. The intros hit so much differently. Interesting. I'll have to try that sometime. I don't know
Yeah.
exactly. Like I would think that wouldn't affect the music. It would only affect dialogue, but there isn't really any
Yeah.
dialogue. So I'll have to try it sometime. So thanks for that
Yeah.
pointer. Creakers never die. We reinforce. So,
That's right.
um, all right. So let's see. Shoot, is there something?
Oh, happy belated birthday, man. I
Oh,
watched your
thank you.
yeah, I watched your impromptu birthday stream not too long ago. Thought that was awesome listening to your trip. Sound like an amazing time, man.
Well, awesome. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, I had just got home that day on my birthday, July 4th. And I came across 9 time zones. So I had the longest birthday ever because it was
Yeah,
literally like 33 hours, because 24 hours plus the 9 time zones I crossed, 33 hours. So after that stream, I was pretty wiped out, but it was a
right.
lot. It was an awesome trip. So
Yeah,
I was
that
like,
was
I
really
want
cool.
to go live here since it's not too late, and just recount my trip. So
Yeah, I have a brother-in-law who also shares the same birthday. So
oh,
I think he'd
okay.
agree with you that it is the best birthday,
Yes, I would
the
literally
best day to
not
have a
pick a
birthday.
different birthday if I had the choice. July 4th is the best birthday day.
That's awesome.
So yeah. Oh, Clancy. Oh, happy birthday, belated birthday. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's been 20 days now since. But
Just slightly
it's still my
belated.
birthday month.
There you go. Nice.
I'm
That's
totally
right.
one of those people. Not really. But yeah, having fire. I didn't do any like fireworks this year because I was live and I was pretty wiped out. But it is always awesome getting fireworks for my birthday, and
Oh, yeah.
it's always well. I'm not currently employed, but when I was working, it's nice to always have the day off of work without having to request it.
Yeah, employment's overrated, man.
Yeah.
Um, did you ever pick up Tony Hawk 3 and 4?
Ooh, that is an excellent question. I don't own it, but I do
Okay.
have it on Game Pass, and that is the main game
Awesome.
I've been playing lately. So I just
Awesome.
beat it last night because there's no
Nice.
there's no like story or anything. So it's not like you can
Yeah.
say, I've beaten the story of it, but I essentially completed the story, which is at least for what I would consider beating the story of the game, is unlocking the solo tours. So uh have you been playing it?
I want to. I still got to pick up 1 and 2 though. I loved those
Oh,
games, man.
I yeah,
The original,
I
so
love
good.
the Tony Hawk games. So I had Tony Hawk 1 on N64, and I picked that up because my buddy I think we were in elementary at the time, he had it, and I played at his house, and I was like, this is so much fun. So I ended up getting it. I have Tony Hawk 2. My cartridge is right there behind my DS, but I got Tony Hawk 2 on
Nice.
Game Boy Advance. And then I have Tony Hawk 3, which is right there. It's up here on my shelf.
Yeah,
If I had to pick any individual Tony Hawk game, Tony Hawk 3 is my favorite.
nice. Yeah, my
But
brothers did play it a lot, and I think I watched them. My younger brothers, I seen them playing it all the time. I never really had a chance at that time to play it. This is like 20 years ago or whatever. But I was
Tony
like,
Hawk
oh,
3 was a
that looks
launch
so
title
cool.
on GameCube. I got it on GameCube's launch day. So when I came
Awesome.
home launch day with my GameCube, I had Tony Hawk 3, and I had Rogue Leader, Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader. And those are both fantastic games. So I
Yeah.
haven't played Tony Hawk 3 in a ridiculously long time. So it's great playing through it again for the first time in forever. I never did play 4. I am going to play the original version of 4 on GameCube at some point.
Okay.
But this has been the 3+4 remaster has been, or remake, is
Yeah.
my first exposure to Tony Hawk 4. So I do know that they made significant changes to how 4 plays. So
Okay.
that's the main reason why I want to go back and play the original Tony Hawk 4, is to see how much difference there is because I do know that in the original Tony Hawk 4, you go up to NPCs and like get quests essentially, and it's like
Yeah.
a free skate and there's no timer. But in this one, they made it play just like the first 3, where you have a timer and you have 2-minute runs.
Right.
But yeah, I've been digging it. I did play. I did the deluxe upgrade, so I've been playing through it as the Doomslayer.
That's awesome.
But yeah, I'm oh
Have
yeah,
you
go
do
for
you
it.
notice a big difference between the original and 3?
The only
I
real difference, gameplay wise, it's from what I remember playing it, many years ago, it's nearly identical. The only other difference is
That's cool.
that although I don't know if you can even, because the one thing because like through each of the first 4, because I never played 5, and I heard it was god awful. Like we don't even acknowledge its existence because it's that terrible.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
So I haven't played it, but I've heard from many outlets that it doesn't deserve the name of Tony Hawk.
Oof.
But in like Tony Hawk 1 to 2, they added the manuals, because Tony Hawk 1 didn't have manualing in it.
Oh yeah, that's
And
right.
then Tony Hawk 2 to Tony Hawk 3, they added the revert, so you can continue your vert tricks into a combo. Because before that, you could do, my main thing was being a vert skater, so I always like the half pipes and the bowls and stuff,
Yeah.
not the street skating. Despite the fact that my favorite skater is Rodney Mullen, who is a street skater, not a vert skater. Um, but with the revert allowed you to keep your vert tricks in a combo as well. And then in 4, they added skitching, which is holding on to the back of cars, because 3, 1, 2, and 3. Well, actually, there are cars in 1 in the San Francisco map at least, but you can't skitch
Yeah.
on them. I don't remember if 2 had any vehicles in it. 3, I don't believe there are any vehicles in it, so you wouldn't have anything to sketch on. No, that's not true. The LA map does have some cars on it, but
Okay.
it's the cop cars chasing that out of control car. But then once you trigger the earthquake, then there's no more cars driving around on that map. So, but before that, you would be able to sketch, but there's no sketching in Tony Hawk 3. But there is sketching in the 3+4 remake. So you
Nice.
probably could sketch on those vehicles. So that's really the only difference in the actual gameplay. On Party Chat on Tuesday night, I was talking about how I'm playing Tony Hawk 3+4 right now. It's like I'm playing,
Yeah.
a couple of different games, but that's the main thing I've been playing the most of lately. The one thing that is the biggest change, or at least from what I remember, and it's been a very big disappointment, is the soundtrack. I remember loving the soundtrack.
Oh,
And there are some songs that were in Tony Hawk 3 that are in the 3+4 remake. Like I
yeah.
said, I never played 4, so I don't know what songs were in 4. But the soundtrack in the 3+4 remake, other than a couple of ones that I clearly remember, like
Yeah.
96 Quiet Bitter Beans by CKY, that one's still in there. I very much remember that one. I remember Motorhead or Ace of Spades by Motorhead, because that was the actual, like, when you first boot up the game before you even get to the menu, that was the intro song while you're watching the skate video.
Yeah.
And then the other one I really remember was Not the Same by Body Jar, because I put that on my playlist on my iPod back in the day, and I listened to the heck out of that song. I love
Yeah.
that song. But
That's
other
a
than
good
that,
point. Because they go
go
ahead.
for it.
No, I was gonna say that's a good point with the music where they changed it, because I was gonna ask if, like, even in Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 in the remake, if they had the similar music in that. I think what was it, like Social Distortion, um,
I
a couple
don't
other bands.
remember. I don't remember a lot of the soundtrack from the
Okay.
first one.
But that
I played it
happened,
on N64, and then like I
yeah,
said, this Tony Hawk 2 I only played on GBA, and it didn't have the same music.
got it. Because I
So
think when
I don't really remember.
I picked up like a new port of what was it, Crazy Taxi back in the day.
Okay,
I played it on Dreamcast originally when I had it, and then I
that's
picked it
like
up
one of
again,
the
I think
only
on.
Dreamcast games I ever played.
Yeah, it was that was so fun. We used to come up with so many cool games playing that. And but when I picked it up again, they like changed all the music, and I was like waiting for that, Offspring All I Want song to kick in, and it was like a different song, and it like completely like killed the vibe for me. I was like,
Oh,
where's the music that made the gamers? It was like such a strong connection. And it's weird how that kind of happens with games. You're like, where's the
licensing
music?
ruins
Yeah, right.
everything.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, I don't really talk about it a whole lot, but one of my buddies, Extra Zero, the couple times I've had him on, he's like a big proponent, and I'm with him. I just don't really talk about it as much.
Okay.
But like, yeah, it's like when you license something for a game, it should be in perpetuity. It's garbage that, oh, the licensing ran out, so now we have to delist this digital only game, so you can't buy it anywhere anymore. That
Yeah,
should
it's a
be
bummer, huh?
completely illegal.
It's a bummer, and it comes down to money or whatever. But it's like same with like a lot of racing games. They lose the licensing for vehicles. It's like, oh,
Exactly. Racing, that's
that's
another
such a
perfect
bummer.
example when they've got, real cars in their games. You have to
Yeah,
license them. That's why a ton of the Forza games have been delisted, is because of
yeah,
licensing. It's like, if you're gonna like remake or remaster your game, I totally understand you'd have to renegotiate those licensing deals. But in a game, you're like, I licensed the vehicles for this game. It doesn't matter what happens from then on, that game should be available with that content in it. And
agreed.
it's
Yeah,
trash that that's not the way it works.
yeah. I mean, when you look at it, it's just preserving the actual game's, spirit, if you will.
They
It's
don't
like
have that problem with
hard to
movies. They
change it.
got movies from, when movies were brand new in like the 20s, and you don't have to relicense the music every 10 years. So why is it
Yeah,
not the same for video games?
true. Yep, I'm with you there.
So that'll get me on a tism, but Yeah, I can totally understand like that ruining the vibe of a game for you because they weren't able to relicense the music and now it's got a different soundtrack or something. It's not that visceral of a connection for me for Tony Hawk 3 for the music, but the main song, those three that I mentioned are the ones I really
Right.
associate with it, and they're in the game. But
That's cool. I
like
mean,
I
at
said,
least
I
you get
didn't
that
play
much.
4, so I don't know what songs were in 4 originally, but the
Right.
soundtrack is just there's just so much trash. I went because you can edit the playlist and which songs actually play, and I turned
Nice.
off like probably like a third of the songs. I'm like, these songs
Yeah.
just suck. So that's my biggest disappointment is the soundtrack. But the gameplay is awesome and I love it and I'm having a blast with it. So anyway, so where we started off on that topic is what I consider beating the game is unlocking solo tours, which first you have to go through all of Tony Hawk 3 and 4 and get 100% goals on every single map and get gold medals on all three competitions, which then unlocks pro goals. And then you have to go through Tony Hawk 3 and 4 again, uh, every single map, and then complete it with those additional pro goals, which are harder than the original ones. And that's what I finished doing last night. And that unlocks solo tours, which means in order because there's like the last achievement in the game is for completing all solo tours, which means complete all of those goals in Tony Hawk 3 and 4 with all 30 skaters in the game. So it's going to be a
Wow.
grind, pun intended.
Yeah. Nice.
So it'll take a while, but I have no problem with that because
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was last year or the year before. I'm pretty sure it was last year though. Tony Hawk 1+2 was my most hours in a game in the whole year because I had Tony Hawk 1+2 in my quick resume and I played it like almost every day for like the first 6 months of the game of the year until I completed basically that exact same thing where I completed the game with every single skater in the game. And because I just love the Tony Hawk, so I had no problem going
Yeah.
through it so many times. So I'm not. I was looking at the achievement guide saying this is how you complete this achievement, and I've now unlocked solo tours, so now I understand. It's like you have to play it through the whole game, all the pro goals with all 30 skaters. Like it's going to take a while, but I have no problem with that because I really enjoy this game. So,
Yeah.
but
That's
other
awesome.
people were saying like, whoever made this achievement sucks. You know, you're bad people. I'm like, I don't mind because I love the game. So
Yeah.
Tony Hawk 3 and 4 is now going to stay in my quick resume for a very long time because I'll probably play it nearly every day, getting a little
Nice.
progress. Do a map or two every day until I complete it. However
Yeah. Yeah.
long it takes because I calculated it out today. There's 30 skaters and I forget what the number is, but let me do it right now again on the fly because I remember the numbers. But there's 30 skaters in the game, and there are 9 maps, if I remember correctly, in Tony Hawk 3, and there's 10 in Tony Hawk 4. So there's 19 in total. So you got to do
Okay.
all 19 of them with all 30 skaters, which is
That's a grind.
570 maps. So
Oh man.
if I do one a day, it'll take me like two and a half or like a year and a half, but I
Nice.
don't mind. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a game you enjoy and you're a completionist. It's like, yeah, that's awesome.
so but
A good
Clan,
goal.
yeah, and I've got so I actually just well you're maybe not as much of a Xbox guy as I am, but it sounds like you do have an Xbox, so you do play on Xbox sometimes.
I have lots of Xbox games. Just like you said, a lot of those. I'm terrible at finishing games, right? Because I'll
To
move on
each
to
their own.
something, or
Yeah.
yeah, it's one of those
A lot of my
things.
friends are like, "You're crazy for being an achievement hunter," and I'm not even the biggest achievement hunter I know.
Yeah,
My buddy Dude, we do an achievement hunting. We have a show every month we call Achievement Chasers, where we talk about what achievements we hunted over the course of the last month. And he
yeah,
doesn't have as much gamer score as me or as many completions, but he's got way more difficult completions than I do.
nice. Okay,
But I know
gotcha.
we're weird. A lot of people are not like that. Um, but anyways, where I was going with that is that you're familiar with like the Xbox dashboard where you can create like different groups and like
Oh
group
yeah,
your games with like your folders. So I created
yes,
one just this afternoon called Dailies of all the games where I'm not necessarily going to play them every day, but games that have some sort of like come and play for a few minutes here and there every day and make
yeah,
progress towards it. So I put like Tony Hawk 3 in there,
nice.
3+4, to touch on for every day until I get it knocked out. So, McClan says Rodney Mullen was also my favorite pro skater as a kid. Dude revolutionized street skating. Yes, he did. I remember watching just so many like videos of him and his like skating back in the day. It just like blew my mind. Like, how does he do that? So, and Clans, yeah, they did that crap with GTA 4 as well, where they changed a ton of the music because the licensing
Oh
ran out,
yeah,
especially on Radio Vladivostok. I did play GTA 4. It's
yeah,
the only one that I actually put like real hours into. I never completed it because the multiplayer achievements are stupid long on that achievement or on that game, and I don't like GTA to begin with, so I never bothered with finishing it. But I
yeah.
know somebody I was talking to recently said something along the lines about licensing with, or it might be they're taking um, one of the channels out, one of the radio stations in GTA that everyone's like a big fan of, like isn't going to be in GTA 6. So not that I care because I have zero interest in playing GTA 6, but I know a lot of people love it, and I know I heard that some people are like sad to hear that that station isn't going to be in the game.
You mean people don't just listen to Rise FM?
Is that another one of the in-game stations?
That was from like
Okay.
GTA 3. That was like, yeah, when it's from the opening scene and you start going around, then the trance music kicks in. I actually have some of the tracks um, on my phone. I have some of the MP3s. There's good music in that
Okay.
game, man.
Yeah, I know like a lot of people like that was
And
like their favorite. GTA 4 was my introduction to the franchise, and like
nice. GTA 4 is
I
great,
feel
man. That was the last one I played. I didn't have much interest in GTA
yeah,
5.
I did put a lot of time into GTA 4. I got the achievement for killing all 200 or however many were there, called flying rats, but they were just pigeons hidden around the world. So I did that. So I put a lot
Oh,
of time into
nice.
the game, but I just did not care for it. I did get GTA 5 because they're like, no, you got to try GTA 5. I'm like, it just feels like more of GTA 4, which I didn't enjoy. So I'm just not a big fan of Rockstar in
Yeah.
general.
Yeah, I got you.
But Clan also says I refuse to play GTA 5 or 4 without my own custom music tracks now because of licensing. I like it.
Mm,
Uh, he,
right.
and he also
Yeah.
beat like
And at least
ever
you can
loving
do that.
crap out of Tony Hawk Underground. I never did play the Underground games, but I know like everyone who played them like loved them. So maybe I'll get around to playing those at some point. I did play American Wasteland, and the last mainline Tony Hawk I played before 1+2, because like I said, I love that one, so I played the crap out of that one as well. Was Tony Hawk Project 8, which was pretty cool because they kind of stole from Skate, which I never got into. I know a lot of people love the Skate franchise as well. Because that one is not, that one's more simulation than it is arcadey, where Tony Hawk is very arcade-like, kind of like the difference between sim racing and arcade racing. But one of the things that they borrowed in Tony Hawk Project 8 from Skate is you could click both joysticks and go into a slow motion mode, and each joystick controlled one of your feet, and you could basically almost like invent your own tricks, or at least your own flip tricks, which was pretty cool.
Oh yeah. I think I remember my brothers doing that. That was pretty
Um,
cool.
but yeah, Tony Hawk Underground was my ultimate favorite skater game growing up. Nice. Yeah, I gotta play those at some point because I just know how popular they were. Um,
Nice.
but
Also, I didn't know you were a fan of Rubik's
Oh,
cubes, man.
yes, I have
Um,
many of them. I got well, my newest one is in the other room, but I did show it on my impromptu birthday stream because I got it while I was
yeah,
on that trip.
I I saw that, and I had just picked one up probably like a few weeks before I watched that, and just over the weekend I watched like a video. I think it was Jay Perma's like 10-minute Rubik's cube video, and it taught me how to do it. And
I'm
I'm like,
assuming you
this is
just have a
awesome.
standard
Always wanted
three
to learn
by
how to
three,
solve
right?
it. Yeah, it's a 3x3. It was like a $15 like speed cube at
Okay,
Target,
nice.
and it's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it was
got
really fun.
into it because one of the jobs I had, there was one of my cubicle mates who was like sat next to me, and he was really into Rubik's cubes, and so he got a bunch of us into them, and I got into. I'm not like a speed cuber or anything, but I just like
Yeah,
having a bunch of them and like knowing how to solve them. So once you know how to solve a three by
right.
three,
Yeah,
solving anything larger than that is much easier. Um,
really.
but yeah, it's yeah, I've got like I probably have like 15 cubes now. I have probably like 5 or 6 3 by
That's
3s. Then I've
awesome.
got a 2 by 2. I've got 4 by 4, 5 by 5. Well, you can see my 4 by 4 is right there. My 5 by 5 is right there.
Yep.
My 6 by 6 is that one, which I did a cool design on. I got a couple more 3 by 3s. There's my 2 by 2. This one right here, I
Nice.
got from my cousin for Christmas one year. That's an X cube, and then this one right here is a Mega Minx, which is a 12-sided Rubik's cube rather than regular Rubik's cube is 6-sided. And that's the 3x3 version. And then right here is the Gigaminx, and that's the 5x5 version of the Megaminx. And then I have it out in my family room, but that's when I showed on stream where I've got my newest one is now a 9x9, which I haven't put much time in it since I got back from my trip, but I still haven't yet finished solving it.
That's the one where you were trying to solve before the end of the flight.
Yes, I was trying to, and I was like, I'm gonna need to look some things up because I am not gonna be able to do this on my own. But yeah, so now I have a 9x9, but now I'm gonna need to fill in the gaps because the 6x6 right here was my largest. So now I'm gonna need a 7x7 and an 8x8 so that I have everything from 2 to 9.
Yeah, I want to pick up a 2x2 and then a 4x4, and then we'll see if the addiction
Yes,
grows
I
from
love
there.
it. If you ever want to talk Rubik's cubes, I'm totally down for it. So, yeah,
Nice.
you're
All right.
actually the first person I think has ever actually asked me about my Rubik's cubes.
Yeah, I saw it on the birthday stream. I was like, "Oh, dude, I just learned how to solve one." I was like, "That's so cool, man." It is a fun little thing just to, learning the algorithms and going down the
Yeah,
steps.
did you learn it from
So yeah, it's fun.
the Rubik's Cubes website?
No, it's just I just looked up on YouTube and it came up with like I think his name is JPerm. And it was like a 10-minute video he made going through all the
Okay.
algorithms, just to start with the white cross, then white corners, and then going through the center, and then it's like a 10-minute video, but it's got like 90 million views or something crazy like that. But it's like so simple and it was so easy to follow along with. And like over the course of a couple days, just kind of practicing, I just learned it, and that was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah,
What's funny is that when I first met my wife, she knew how to solve Rubik's
that's
cube,
awesome.
and this is like 16 years ago. Yeah, she was 18 years old, and she she could just solve a Rubik's cube. I thought that was the coolest thing because I had one in my room, but I didn't know how to like solve it. She just comes over and solves it. I'm like, she's the
She
one.
is the one. Like Neo, she's the one.
And she was like, I got him
That is
good.
awesome.
Just got to show him this one trick, and that's it. Yeah, no, it was pretty cool.
So, yeah, the one thing was, so I went on the Rubik's Cube website, and it shows you. That way, I didn't have to keep like pausing and playing anything. I could just kind of like follow the steps. But the thing was for me is that because of the 6 colors that are on the cube, red is my favorite color.
Yeah.
So I always use red as my top rather
Okay.
than white. So as I was learning, I was like, all right, I have to pretend these white pieces are red pieces in my head in order to be able to solve it. Um, but yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, yeah. No, I've definitely grown a big appreciation for the Rubik's cube, and I didn't know that there were so many different sizes too.
Oh,
I was like, oh yeah, 3x3, and now there's some insane cubes out there, like
the largest
ridiculously.
I haven't seen it in person, but I've seen pictures of it online. The largest physical cube I've ever seen is a 17 by 17. I actually watched a time lapse of someone solve it, and they did it in like 5.5 hours or something. I'm like, that is crazy. Because like
Yeah,
once like this was before I got my 9x9, my Gigaminx here was definitely the one that would take the longest. It's pretty easy to solve
yeah,
once you know how to do it. But learning this one was probably more difficult than learning a 3x3. But once you know how to solve this, you only need to know like one more algorithm to solve this. Just like once you know how to solve a 3x3, solving a 4x4 or a
yeah.
5x5, you only need to know like one additional algorithm. So it's a lot easier. But yeah,
Interesting.
solving this one just is lots of repetition, and it just takes forever just because there's so many sides to it. There's 12 sides, so it takes a while. But
Right.
but that's awesome. Oh,
Yeah.
when you mentioned how many cubes there are, the same guy that got me into the Rubik's cubes at that job, he knew how to solve fourth dimensional Rubik's cubes, which you can't do it physically because there's no way to have a physical manifestation of a Rubik's cube in fourth dimensions. But there are programs that you can do it, and he solved like 8x8 cubes in the fourth dimension, which is just nuts. I got so far as
That's
to so
crazy.
how like the fourth dimensional Rubik's cube is, and you can go download the program for free. I'll have to go find it because I know I've got it on my computer somewhere. But instead of just solving, all 6 sides of a cube, it's basically you have a cube like this, but each one of the like this is the top layer, right? So that's nine cubes
Yeah.
right there. Then there's the middle layer, and there's another 9, and then there's the bottom layer, which is another 9. So each one of those in a 3-dimensional space is a separate cube, and you have to get all of them one color. But if I remember, there's 7 in total that you have to solve because there's one red cube, that's made up of like
Yeah.
what's 9 times 20, 27, right? Because there's 9 by 3 layers, so it's 27 cubes in each
Yep.
overall cube. So you have one that you have to get all red. There's one you have to get all white pieces in. There's one you have to get all blue pieces in. So it's essentially like you have one cube here, you got another cube here, in front of it, behind it, on top of it, underneath it, and then on top of that, there's and the reason why you can't do it in actual physical space is because there's one more cube that it touches all 6 of the other cubes. So there's no way to physically manifest that. So it's really crazy. It is
mind-boggling.
nuts. And I got as far as I think I solved one of the 7 cubes where I got them all red. I do want to go back at some point and learn how to actually fully solve the 4th dimensional, because you can also do the 4th dimension just like this is 3x3 in a 4x4, 5x5, 6x6, as big as you want. But I do want to at some point be able to say I've solved the 4th dimensional 3x3 Rubik's Cube. This guy was also so advanced that there are also 5th dimensional Rubik's Cubes on this program, and he solved one of those as well in like a 7x7. I can't even, and I tried pulling it up.
Yeah.
I don't even comprehend and understand what I'm looking at on the screen, much less like the 4th dimensional one. I understand it, I just don't know how to do it. The 5th one, I can't even comprehend what I'm looking at, and he solved it. It's like, it's nuts. So if you're really into Rubik's Cubes, you can go get a free program so you can solve them in additional dimensions. It's nuts.
Yeah, I'm totally for getting to that level at some
So,
point.
like I
Time willing, that'd
like
be
I said,
great.
I'm not about speed cubing. So, like, my best time on a 3x3 is like 45 seconds, and the world record is like 3.5 seconds. It's nuts. I just like knowing how to solve all these different cubes. So,
yeah, that's awesome.
But Clan was saying Vice City was his first GTA, then 3, 4, and 5. Played some of the offshoots, but never finished them. Yeah, the one that I had the most fun with was GTA 1, the actual top-down one that was like on DOS way back in the day.
I never played that.
Yeah,
original
cool. GTA was actually an accident because they were making a racing game with cops in it, kind of like what some of the Need for Speed games have. And they had so much fun just messing with the cops in the game rather than actually racing. They're like, let's just turn it into this game. And that's how GTA became a game.
Oh yeah. I mean, that was like the funnest part of GTA 3. See how many stars you could get, and how long you could run from the cops. They call in the military on you. That was awesome.
Yeah. So Clan also says he's a companion cube. Yep, my companion cube is right there. Portal is my favorite. Well, nice. Portal 2 specifically is my favorite puzzle game of all time. I absolutely love the Portal games.
Those
they
are
great
games,
fantastic. Man. And I always say, whenever I bring it up, I love Portal 2 so much because it does have a co-op mode. Even though I have all the achievements, I'm happy to play through it with anybody if they ever want to play the co-op, and I'll help you get the co-op achievements if you need a co-op buddy. I do have it on Xbox 360, and I also have it on Steam. So I love Portal. So
sweet.
And the Sith Holocron. Yep, that's my Sith Holocron. You can actually push the button, and the tray comes out, and the Book of Sith is inside of it. So Nightmare's here. What's up, Nightmare? Hope you're doing well this evening. He's just popping in for a few. Just curious, is Rinzler's name a Tron reference? Excellent segue, Nightmare, because he mentioned something about Tron backstage right before we went live, and so Rinzler, go ahead and give us. Yes,
Tron inspired
because you did say you're a big fan of sci-fi.
Yeah. I'm not Disney affiliated.
Yeah, not Disney,
but
so I've seen
I'm a fan of sci-fi, and
I've
I
seen
love the
Tron
movies.
Legacy, and I love that movie. So I also do a show called Top Five, where we rank our top five favorite of whatever the topic is, and we did one for video game
Oh yeah.
based movies. And Tron was, I could pull it up here, but Tron Legacy was in my top five because I love that movie. I don't remember a character named Rinzler, but I haven't seen it in a long time either. So go ahead and refresh my
You
memory on
you
who
should watch it.
Rinzler is.
He also has a really good theme song. I love the soundtrack for that movie too. Um, Daft Punk and I think Hans
Great
Zimmer helped out
soundtrack in
with
that movie
making the
for
soundtrack.
sure.
I mean, yeah, the aesthetic of that movie, the music. I mean, it was such a good film.
Oh,
Looking forward to the new one coming out, dude. I think it'll be great.
despite it going through
I'm hoping
development
at least.
hell, I hope it comes out to be great as well. So
Yeah,
I just pulled up my top five video game movies. Tron Legacy was my number one.
nice. Yeah, yeah. Rinzler's. I mean, he's in the movie.
Who was
Plays a
Rinzler?
part.
Remind me, because I don't remember what that character
I
was.
don't I don't I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil it, man.
I've seen the movie probably 3 or 4 times.
Rinsler Rinsler is like kind of like a big reveal at the end of the movie, um, where I guess you've seen it, so it's not
Spoiler
really a
to
spoiler,
anybody
but
in chat who
he
hasn't
actually
seen it.
ends up,
So
yeah, yeah. Pause now, but mute it. No, but he's the big reveal. He's actually Tron. He was corrupted by Clue, right? When Clue went to take over the grid, right, and take control from Flynn. So uh, he starts fighting, right? Rinsler or Tron gets overwhelmed, and then Clue basically corrupts his disc, and basically makes him his minion. But at the end, Rinsler basically fights back, right? And he says his famous line, "I fight for the users," and like betrays Clue and like saves, Olivia Wilde and Flynn's son. Um, for like the big finale. But such a cool movie and such a cool scene, and I always loved his theme song when it kicks
I
in too.
think I know what
But
song
I
you're
mean, it's just
talking
such a
about.
cool
So
character.
Rinsler
Yeah.
was corrupted Tron. Okay.
Yep.
That's why I think I remember
Yeah.
Tron, I remember Clue, but I don't remember Rinsler. But that was, there were two
Yeah.
characters
He's
or
just
one
kind
character
of.
with two different names, depending on, kind of their
Yeah. I
affiliation.
don't. Maybe corrupted isn't the right term, but that's kind of like what it seems like. Clue just basically influences him with his bidding and takes control of him.
Okay. So yeah, that
But
mystery
yeah,
is solved now. Um, but
nice.
okay, well, thank you for that reminder. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, and yeah, I do love that movie.
Yeah. I watch that film every couple years, if not every year. I watch it.
Yeah, Nightmare says, "Sorry, I spoiled it." No, I mean I've seen the movie many times. I just forgot that part of the movie. No, I remember that there was a character that was a good guy who was basically had turned bad. I just forgot that Rinsler was
Hmm.
his name. So yeah,
Yeah. You gotta watch it
I
again,
would
man.
absolutely will
Such a
be
good
watching
film.
it again before the third one airs if it ever comes out. But were you a fan?
Yeah, looks good. I
Were
think
you a
it's
fan of the
interesting.
original Tron? Okay.
Yes.
Because I never saw the
Yes.
original Tron
Yeah, I still.
until I think after I saw Tron no, Tron Legacy. Tron Evolution was the video game that was tied to the movie, which was actually a pretty decent movie-based game. Um,
It still holds up well with, even the aesthetics and the visual effects, man. I mean, it's not terrible. I still like it, and yeah,
no,
it's still
yeah.
a good
I
film.
know a lot of
It's up
people
there
like
for me.
I'm not to like put your age out there or anything, but I don't know if you were around when Tron originally released. I was not yet born because that was before my time by a few years. Um,
No, no, I'm 36. I turned
okay,
37 this
I'm
year.
slight.
But it was one of those things. It was like, my uncle who also got me into video game stuff. He'd always bring the cool movies around. I just had that cool uncle that he's the one that like always rented like video game systems for me, and is a big part of why I'm so big into sci-fi and video games,
Nice.
anyways. But yeah, he'd rent Tron and stuff like that, and I was like, dude, this is cool. He was actually the one that took me to the theaters. He took me and my younger brother to see The
Oh,
Matrix
I'm not a fan of that movie at all.
when it released. Oh no. Yeah, you are.
It's my favorite
Dude,
movie of all time.
I like, yeah, what's crazy is like I can't remember anything before that point. It's funny because like I literally feel like I woke up consciously after seeing that movie. It
I'm
was such
awake
a big
now.
deal in our lives.
Um,
Right.
so yeah, the
But
Matrix, obviously, no
yeah.
surprise, it's my favorite movie of all time.
Yeah.
I never got to
Yeah, I could
see it in
tell.
theater, though. I didn't get to see it for the first time until it came out on DVD, and I had to convince my mom to let me watch it because I was still under the age. It was a rated R movie. I wasn't 17 yet.
Yeah.
Um, and so I had to convince my mom to let me see it. And I think that movie could easily pass for PG-13. There's really nothing in it that should be rated R.
Yeah,
Look, the original
rated R,
Halo.
but it's like,
I
is
don't
it?
think the original Halo should have been rated M. I think it should have been PG-13 or
Yeah,
teen for
yeah,
video games.
right.
But yeah, she's like, all right, well, you can watch it, but if there's anything I don't like, I'm turning it off. And the one thing that she almost turned it off for was getting the when they put the bug in him and his mouth got covered.
Oh,
And that's
yeah,
like pretty early in the movie. I'm like, it's just a robot bug.
yeah,
It's no big deal. And then the rest of the movie was
yeah,
was perfectly fine. So and it became my favorite movie. So I finally
yeah, that movie just impacts
I
you.
finally got to see it for the first time in theaters just last summer, in September when it came back to theaters for its 25th anniversary. So I've now seen it
Awesome.
in theaters,
Where did you go see it?
just at my local theater.
Okay. There's this theater, it's in, I wanna say LA, and I think there's one in Arizona as well. It's called Cosm.
I have not heard
Have
of
you heard of
that.
that? But basically, they're showing The Matrix, also for the 25th year, but it's like it's got the screen, but also it has, like, the walls and the ceiling that, like, get
Oh,
covered with
that's
effects.
cool.
So as you're watching it, the whole, like, theater, like, gets, like, projected, all these images, so you're just, like, enveloped in the world of The Matrix. So as you're watching it, like, and all the letters go down, it's like the whole, ceiling and walls have that as well. It's really cool effect that they did. I wanna take my son, but tickets are a little bit expensive.
Basically, like the falling text that I've got on my
But yeah.
background here is like all over the walls.
Yes. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yes, it looks awesome. But they do different effects for, like, a lot of the scenes where it'll just, like, envelop the whole
That's really
theater,
cool. I would love to see
um,
that.
with it, yeah. Yeah, look, it's like COSM,
So
Cosm.
yeah, no, I'm up in NorCal, so that'd be quite a drive.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit.
But yeah, so Tron, yeah, Nightmare says Garrett Hedlund. I like him. I saw him in something just recently. I'm like, God, that
Mhm.
guy looks familiar. And I'm like, that's the kid from Tron. I like him as an actor. Not that I've seen him in a whole lot of stuff,
Yeah.
but anyways, with the original Tron, I didn't see it until like my college days. So and after I had seen Tron Legacy, so I don't really have like any nostalgia for it. I didn't like grow up with it or anything. I'm not a huge fan of the original Tron, but I
Yeah.
do love Tron Legacy. Um, and he
Yeah,
Nightmare says, "Yeah, Tron Legacy
it's
deserves a
got a
proper sequel." Dang it! Yeah, that was a pretty good game.
right.
Oh, he's talking about the movie. I see. Again, I'm getting mixed up with the movie and the game. Tron
I
Evolution.
never there was a game called, like, I think Tron
Yes.
Evolution. Yeah, I haven't played that. I do wanna play it. I have it on my Xbox, actually. Um, just haven't played it a lot. Again, it's
Yeah,
on that
I
list.
played through it probably about 2 or 3 years ago, because
Nice.
year-long competition I was in, you get assigned random games from your list, from your available games, and you get extra points if you complete the game randomly picked for you in a month, and that was one of the games that was, drawn for me 1 month, so I played through it, and it was a pretty good, movie-based game. But yeah, Tron Legacy
Yeah,
deserves a proper
that's cool.
sequel. I don't exactly sure what you mean by that, since we are eventually getting Tron Ares, but maybe you're not considering that to be a proper sequel. I'm not exactly sure why, since it does
Yeah,
seem to pick up, from what little I've seen about it, does seem to pick up where Legacy left off, I think.
yeah, I'm optimistic.
I'm hoping.
I was hoping they do more with, Cillian Murphy's character from Legacy. I thought that
Oh,
was cool.
he
They
was one
kinda
of
had
like
the
the board members, right?
he's like the son. Yeah, yeah, he was like, I think he's the son. I forget the name is, like, Dillinger or something. The guy who's like, Flynn's, like, competitor or
Yeah.
whatever, in the original Tron, right? But, I thought they could do more with his character,
I,
but I'm optimistic and, interested to see where they
I
go with
forgot
the
Killian
movie.
Murphy was even in Tron Legacy.
Yeah, plays such a
He's
small
probably
part.
only
I
at
was
the
like,
beginning
"Oh,
of the
they could have
movie,
done some
right?
really cool stuff."
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
yep.
why. Oh yeah, Nightmare hasn't even seen Tron 1. So yeah, not that it was bad. I just found it painfully boring, and I was not a fan of it. But I do love Tron Legacy. So Clan says, not to be a hater, but I refuse to watch the new Matrix movies. 1 through 3 plus Animatrix are all that exists in the franchise for me. 100%. I
Yeah,
still have not seen Matrix
yeah.
Resurrections,
That's
I think is the one that came out a few years ago. I put it on one night because I'm like, I have to watch it,
mm,
because I'm such a big Matrix fan, even if it is terrible. I put it on one night.
you really don't.
I did start it super late. It was like 11:30 or something, and I passed out after like 10 minutes because it was late, and I just never bothered to go back and rewatch it and
Yeah,
finish it. So I will watch it in its entirety at some point. It's just very, very low on the priority list since I very rarely watch anything. My free time,
yeah.
I'm going to be spending gaming, so I don't really watch a whole lot.
If I could get back my time from watching that film, I would, but it's all right. They got me hyped up with the trailer though, man. I was like, "Oh, this is
I
gonna be
don't.
good," but nope.
Oh, the trailer for Matrix Resurrections. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
Yeah, they had, like, some really cool I think they did, like, an orchestral version of White Rabbit or something, and it was just so it was they did it really well. Like, they sold it, and they got me good.
So I want to read.
But, I love the first 3, and now obviously the Animatrix was so cool too. I mean, so many cool, concepts that were, you know, what do you call it, more questions, and more, avenues just to I mean, there's such a huge universe to, like, explore there, so Animatrix did
Yeah,
really well, I
Animatrix was
think.
awesome. I loved it. Getting a lot more of
Uh,
the backstory.
people didn't like some people didn't like 2 or 3, but I liked it. I
That's
like
another
Reloaded
thing. I'm
and
glad
and,
that Clan
Revolutions.
said all the three and Animatrix because so many people say there's only one Matrix movie. No,
Yeah, dude.
2 and 3 were not
Nah.
bad. They just were nowhere near as good as the first
Yeah,
one. They got some great
exactly.
action sequences. Like you can't say that the freeway chase in Matrix Reloaded isn't awesome.
That was crazy, man. That was I mean, I even watched the videos, like, how they did that. They built their
Yes,
own
they built their
freeway,
own.
it's like, all the things they did is like,
Yeah,
that's insane, man. You gotta give it to them. They couldn't find an existing road to work on, so they just built their own, like,
yeah,
that's
they
amazing.
built because I got my DVD set here. I do also have the 4K Blu-ray
Yeah,
set for Matrix, but here my DVD set here is what I got way back, and it's a 10 disc set. And each of the three movies comes with its own making of disc, and it has the Animatrix, so that's 7 discs. And there's 3 additional discs all about behind the scenes and the making of for the whole trilogy. And I'm pretty sure I
nice.
watched all of it at one point. Same thing with my Lord of the Rings pack here. Everyone had each one of the three movies has a 2 additional making of discs, so it's like, and each movie is 2 DVDs, so it's like 4 discs per movie.
Yeah,
And I watched it all. But yeah, they're just everything that went into just making all of those movies was crazy. So I
yeah,
am absolutely a defender of Matrix Reloaded, Matrix Revolutions.
same. Yeah.
Um, while we're on the topic of
But,
Matrix, to kind of guide us
yeah.
back towards video games, because
Yeah,
there
right, I was
are
gonna go
technically there were 3 Matrix games. Do you know
Oh,
what
yeah.
3 Matrix games I'm referring to?
Enter the Matrix. God, what was the other one?
That was the first
Uh,
one.
I can't remember the Yeah, there was, like, Matrix it was Neo, right? It was something
Yes,
Neo, I
that's the
know
second
that.
one.
But I loved Enter the Matrix, then there was, like, Neo something
Matrix
I can't
Path
remember
of
the 3rd.
Neo.
Okay, that's right, yeah, Path of Neo. That was cool,
The
I
third
don't know
one
the
is
3rd one.
easy to forget because not a lot of people played it, but it was the Matrix Online. It was the Matrix MMO, which I
Okay.
always wanted to play, but I never actually did. But yeah, I had.
I think it was
Oh, go ahead.
No, I think it was, like, the Enter the Matrix where they had, like, this little, like, hacking program, little, like, side game or something you could go into, and you could, like there's all these little, like, codes and stuff you could try to get to do a little I don't know, I think it was, like, a side
Yes,
game or
the
mini
hacking
game, but
game.
I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah,
I remember staying up late trying to
yeah,
figure it
Matrix.
out.
Enter the Matrix. You switch back and forth between playing as Niobe and Ghost, who were part of
Yeah.
the crew
Yeah, that was
of.
awesome.
Shoot, what was the name of their ship? I forget the name of their ship because it's
Oh,
been so long since I've actually watched the movies. But
yeah. So you had, Morpheus, Neo was a Nebuchadnezzar, their ship was
yeah, if anyone knows the name of the ship that Niobe
yeah,
and Ghost were on, because Niobe was the captain of that ship. I forget what that ship was called off the top of my head because it's been a while since I've seen it. But shout it out if you know it. But yeah, so you play through Enter the Matrix as them too, and that was the first video game I ever played with bullet time, which was awesome because I always wanted to play the Max Payne games, but I
yeah,
never got a chance to. But
The
the
logos,
logos, that's what it
that
was.
was
Did
the
you
name.
look it up or did you remember?
I
Okay.
looked it up.
Yes, that's right.
I had to
Logos.
know.
I'm glad that you did. So thank you for that. Uh,
It was gonna bug me.
Normally stuff like that bugs me as well. But I wasn't gonna go figure it out.
Did I rob it from chat? I
No,
robbed the
yeah,
keys from
Clan was
chat.
like the Nebuchadnezzar, but
Throw 'em
that,
away.
yeah, no, that's not what we were asking because that's Morpheus's ship. We are looking for Niobe's ship. That was the logo. So, but I'm glad that you did look that up, and so thank you for that. But yeah, and then there was the Path of Neo, which you actually play through essentially the whole trilogy as Neo, although they do throw in stuff that wasn't actually in the movies. And my row of
Nice.
games up here, it's the farthest one on the left here is my Matrix Path of Neo. It's the one, I believe it's the only game I own a physical copy of that I have no way of playing because it's not backwards compatible and I don't have my original Xbox anymore. So I have the disc. I have no method of playing it
Yeah.
though. And then yeah, there was Matrix
They had
Online, which I never got a chance to play.
good music in those
Yeah,
games too, though.
I one of my online YouTube buddies who has his own channel. He's in town this weekend this week because he used to live here, but his parents still live here, so he's in town this week. So he came by and we hung out on Tuesday, and he took me to a couple of retro game shops that he used to go frequent when he lived here, and I've lived here my entire life. And I never knew that those shops were there, so I'm glad that I know that they're there now. And I got the bug now for
Nice.
physical collecting, so I will probably at some point buy an original Xbox game, and then I'll be able to play that game again.
I think I still have an Xbox
I
One
got my
somewhere
I have
stuffed away.
my I didn't get the Xbox One on launch, but I have the launch version, like the original one, in my closet in my front entryway. It doesn't work anymore. Like something
Yeah.
blew, like exploded or something. I was
Oh,
playing it one
no.
day and I heard a pop,
Yeah.
and then it just never came back on again. So I've still got it though, but it doesn't work. But because of that, I upgraded to the One X, which I wasn't planning on doing. But the One X had just come out a few months ago. I'm like, well, I guess I'm getting a One X, and I still use that, and it's
Yeah.
right there, and it still works. But I also have my Series X
Yeah.
out in my family room because that's the main thing I play on.
Yep. That's what I got as
You have
well.
the One X?
And my wife, I think I have it's either the Xbox One or the One X that I have stuffed away.
Well, first of all, what color is it?
Because I know it's
Is it black? Okay.
black.
Um, does it?
Yeah.
Because
It's got like the shiny, what do you call it? Like almost like gloss part on it. I swear I think it's like the Xbox One. It might be the One
because
X.
the One X is the profile is a lot thinner. The Xbox One is a bit
No,
thicker,
this is thicker.
and it does have like a
I think it's
shiny
the
front
Xbox One
face.
then.
Okay,
Yeah, 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 yeah. So it might be
that's
the
the one that
Xbox
I
One.
was just talking about that popped and has never worked since. So that's the original Xbox One.
Yeah, I've been meaning to fire it up because there's a game that I love. It's in my top 5. It's Chronicles of Riddick: Escape from Butcher
That
Bay.
is also I've never
Such a
played
good
it,
game,
but
dude.
whenever I see lists of like best
Oh,
movie-based
dude,
games, that one always gets mentioned.
it's insane. I wish they'd just do another update back, port it to, current gen or something. It doesn't have to be remade, just port the original because such a fantastic experience. That was such a cool game being Riddick. Um, yeah, one of my
Do you
favorite
like it
games.
more than the movies that it's based on?
Um, I love the
I,
movies. Pitch Black is still, one of my favorite. I enjoyed Chronicles of
I like
Riddick.
Pitch Black and I like
Even
Riddick.
Riddick,
I'm not a big fan of
yeah,
Chronicles of Riddick. The middle one, I'm just not a huge fan of.
yeah. It's out there, right? It's got some kind of out there stuff, but I still like it just because uh, just the whole aspect of Riddick and how he escapes and his plan and all that stuff is just like, yeah, this guy's cool. Riddick was fun though. I forget when it came out, man. It seemed like a
I
while ago, but the recent one was pretty cool.
the most recent Riddick movie. Yeah,
Just
Riddick. I
Riddick,
did.
yeah.
That's the only one I think I saw in theaters. Um,
Yeah. But I would say that I do like Escape from Butcher Bay, the game, more than the sequels
okay,
of the movies. Pitch Black is up there. But yeah, I will say I like it more than the
okay.
sequels. the game was fantastic, dude.
I'll,
It was such a good
so
game.
because like I said, I got the retro collecting bug, or not just retro, but just physical collecting bug. So I've been today I made a spreadsheet of all the games that I own physically, and I
Mhm.
highlighted those ones with green, and then I put all the games for each console that I want to acquire at some point. So I'm going to add that one to my list of Xbox games because I need to play that at some point.
Strongly recommend. Yeah.
All right, that's on my list now for original Xbox games I need to acquire a physical copy of. Not that there weren't digital games
Nice.
really at that point, so but some of the more
I know. I don't know if I think it was like Starbreeze Studios, wherever. I think it was the game studio that Vin Diesel owned or started or something
Starbreeze
or
sounds
invested in.
familiar.
They did like the Wheelman.
He was in
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Wheelman too.
they
That
did
would
like the
explain
Wheelman
why.
series.
I didn't play that game, but I did play
Exactly.
the demo
It's
of it.
so cool. I didn't either. Yeah, it looked pretty cool. I just wish like that they do some kind of funding or something for a re-release.
Yeah.
That'd be cool, but who
Yeah, so
knows?
I did look it up here, and unfortunately, it is not backwards compatible either. So you cannot play it on a newer console. You can only play
No.
it on the original Xbox, at least the Xbox version. I don't know what other platforms it was released on.
I thought I think it was I think it had a they did a version for Xbox 360. I'm pretty sure I played it on that
Really?
at least. Um, yeah,
Let
yeah,
me
look it up
see.
because it was look up Chronicles of Riddick, Escape from Butcher Bay,
Assault on
Dark
Dark
Athena. I
Athena
think
is
that's what it's
on
called. There
360.
you go. Assault on Dark Athena. Yeah, so they did like a DLC. I don't know. I can't remember if it was like if it's supposed to be before Escape from Butcher Bay or after, but that was also a really cool part of the game where they just added a whole nother game with it. It was
Okay,
really
so since
awesome.
you know about this Assault on Dark Athena, is this basically two
Yeah,
games put together, or is this an
yeah, yep,
entirely so
yep,
it's got Escape from Butcher Bay in it
yeah,
plus an additional game?
yes,
I did not know
yes.
that. All right.
Get it.
It is also
You
not
need it.
backwards compatible, so it can only be played
No,
on a
I know,
360,
man.
and it has been delisted, but it is available physically. I'm adding that to my list for
Yeah,
360 games. 100 to 120-hour completion. Wow, that's a lengthy one.
yeah.
But all right, I'm putting that on my 360 list as
Well
well.
worth it. You'll love every
Um,
minute.
I'm just gonna say Riddick Dark Athena. All right, I'll that should be enough to figure it out. So okay, cool. Well, now 'cause I knew that game existed, but I thought it was like a sequel to Butcher Bay. But essentially,
Uh,
it sounds like it is a Butcher Bay sequel, but it also contains the original game. Or how would you describe it?
yes. No, it has both games. It has Assault on Dark Athena, right? And then you have Escape from Butcher Bay. It's 2 games. I just can't remember how they play, like, if one happens
Okay,
before the other. I think they're just like a continuation together. I just can't remember which, like, sequence they're supposed to be
gotcha.
in, but, um, yeah. I played Escape from Butcher Bay, and then I ended up picking up, Dark Athena, Assault on Dark Athena with the Butcher Bay because it still came with the game for the 360, like, years later after
I
they did
just
that.
figured out why it's such a long completion. It had just like all games at that time had an arbitrary multiplayer
Yeah.
mode thrown in, and there's an achievement
Uh,
for getting 10,000 kills in multiplayer, and there's also an achievement for getting
uh,
1,000 wins in multiplayer.
yeah, man.
So I don't think I'll ever be bothering with those achievements, but I will. I will acquire it at some point, and I will play through and get all the story-based achievements.
Yeah, it's
So
a really
cool.
fun
I'm
game.
glad that I'm now informed about that. So I added that to my list of 360 games to acquire since it's not available digitally anymore. Oh, excellent. Clan says, my personal rule number one of the Matrix, never take food from the Oracle. It's a trap. Neo was not the first. He's just the most recent. That's not entirely bad advice. Plus, those cookies didn't really look all that
Yeah.
tantalizing. Um,
Yeah, there's something in those cookies for sure, man.
So, all right. So we talked about Tron. So, all right, sci-fi in general. What is your favorite sci-fi IP?
Hmm.
Well, I guess it could separate that into movies and into video games because, like, my absolute favorite IP of all time for
Yeah.
video games is Mass Effect, and Mass Effect 3, like I said, is my
Yeah.
favorite game of all time. Um, movies wise, everything pre Disney Star Wars. Star Wars is my favorite movie franchise pre Disney.
Yeah, I mean Star Wars is up there, but it's hard to it's hard to relate to Star Wars
Yeah.
nowadays. But you know, original trilogy stuff like that is definitely up there because the memories that I have with my brothers. My
Oh,
parents got us the like special edition trilogy for Christmas one year, and we watched that like so many times, and it was like it was amazing. It's still every time I watch those movies, I'm still impressed with everything
yeah.
that they did.
I've actually, because of what Disney's done, haven't watched the original trilogy in forever. The only thing I have watched of Star Wars is I did go to the theater a couple months ago and saw Revenge of the Sith for its 20th anniversary. So the last two times I've been to the
Oh
theater
yeah,
have been to see movies that are 20 plus years old.
yeah, right.
Then the last new movie I think I saw was like early last year. I think it was when I went and saw Fast 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's close because I am a huge fan of The Matrix as well, and then, like, just how impactful that film was for me, um, when it came
Yeah.
out. That's up there. It's hard to say what's my favorite sci-fi
So
franchise. I also like
okay.
Star Trek. I still watch the Next Generation. I go through that series. Not really a movie, but I love the whole
I've
aspect of
seen
that.
most of
Good storytelling.
TNG back in the day. I
Mhm.
don't remember much of it since I was, basically a kid, but I've seen most of TNG, and I saw a chunk of Voyager. A, I'm not huge on Star Trek. I had of the movies, I've seen the original motion picture, and then I've seen everything from Generations on. So I didn't see like Star Trek's 2 through 6, um, and I haven't seen a whole
Yeah,
lot of the shows. But I was a huge fan of Star Wars. Is like my favorite like movie IP, but my single favorite movie of all time is The Matrix.
yeah. Um, I think I'm with you there, just because it's still the movie that's impacted me so much. Like I said, I literally don't remember anything in my life before that point. Like, very seldom will I have, like, a memory that starts before I saw The Matrix. It's crazy.
So sound like you're also a big fan of what I call real Star Wars. Um,
Yeah.
have you played many Star Wars games?
Like the old ones. I played a lot of, like, LucasArts games. I missed a lot because they were coming out it's like they were churning out so many games, man, for so long. Like, I played Rogue Squadron, Shadows of the Empire, and I know you mentioned those in your past streams, and I'm like, "Oh, that's so cool," because those
Those
were
were
great
both
games.
in my
All those old LucasArts games were
Rogue
just
Squadron and
amazing.
Shadows of the Empire when we did top 5 Star Wars games. I think that was May of last
Yeah.
year. Those are both in my top 5.
Yeah, I remember, playing through Shadows of the Empire. I know it's a very difficult game, just control-wise,
I
it's
haven't
kinda,
played it since I was a kid. I'm
janky
looking forward to playing through
mechanics.
it again for the first
Yeah,
time since I was a kid and seeing if it lives up to my memory of it. I have a feeling it's not, but I think
yeah.
it's going to be great reliving it anyways.
I Yeah, I'd be interested going back into seeing, like, how difficult it would be now for me to play it. Because like, I went and played, like, the original Mega Man games, and I'm like, "Dude, how was I playing these as a kid? I can't even." It's just
So
there's, like, no way. I'm like, "How did I get
so
through
you
these
can see
levels?"
Mega Man here on my background because I'm a huge fan of the
Yep,
Mega Man franchise. My favorite is the Mega Man X sub
yep,
franchise. Um,
right. Mega Man
yes,
X3, I think.
Mega Man X3 is my favorite Mega Man game and my favorite Super Nintendo game.
I love it.
Um, but yeah,
Nice.
X 1, 2, and 3 are my favorite Super Nintendo games. Um,
I think I buy the X, what do you call it, bundles, right? Because they keep making them for new system. I buy it anytime any console that I have, I
yes,
buy it when it's released or goes on sale. I'm like, I'm getting it. I don't care. It's like I'm gonna have it.
I
I love
own
those
all
games.
of the Mega Man collections on Xbox. The one thing
Nice.
that
There you go.
it pisses me off is that the Mega Man Battle Network collection has come to every platform
Mm.
except Xbox, but all the other collections are on Xbox. So I've got the Mega
Oh,
Man Legacy Collections 1 and 2, which are all the classic ones. I've got the Mega Man X Legacy Collection 1 and
yeah,
2, which is X 1 through 8,
right.
X8. I've got the Mega Man ZX Collection, which is the 4 Mega Man Zero games, and ZX and ZX Advent. But Mega Man Battle Network collection exists on all the other platforms except Xbox, so I have it on Switch, which
Yeah.
I can't get achievements for.
Oh yeah, I've got yeah, I have the Mega Man X collection on Switch as well. My son usually plays
Uh,
that. Planning to get him a Switch 2 for either his birthday or Christmas this year.
nice.
We'll see. he's working on it. He's working towards it.
But yeah, I have played all the classic Mega Mans through 1. So 1 through
Yeah.
10. Or actually, no, yeah, that is correct. Because Mega Man 9 and 10 were released as Xbox Live Arcade games, but I didn't ever actually play the Xbox Live Arcade version of them. My first time playing through the
Yeah.
Mega Man, the classic Mega Man franchises, was in the Mega Man Legacy Collection.
Nice. Yeah. I think I still haven't played through all the games, but yeah, I think mine will probably be the same. Um, but just having the legacy collections, because the only ones I had on my Super Nintendo was Mega Man X and
Mega
Mega
Man
Man
X
X3,
out the
and
the
then
franchise.
occasionally I would rent like or borrow Mega Man X2, which was also really cool. Um, but yeah, I played through Mega Man X and Mega Man X3 many times as a kid.
Nice. Yeah,
Um,
so you're probably
Fantastic games.
quite well familiar with them, as am I. Um,
Yeah, yeah. I think I would say my favorite Super Nintendo game. It would have. It's funny because there's so many good ones. Chrono
I'm not
Trigger was
I'm
like
not a
up
fan
there,
of
but I
turn-based RPGs, so I've never played Chrono Trigger, but everyone's like, "It's so
yeah,
good." I'm like, "Eh, out of
yeah,
my
it's one of
alley."
those things. But I've been playing Clair Obscur Expedition 33 lately, and I just love it, dude. I haven't played a turn-based game in a long time, and they really did like what do you call it, revolutionize or just bring it to a new
I've been
evolutional level
tempted to
with
play it
turn-based. And
because it looks like a very
oh, it's so good,
active
man.
turn-based game, so I'm like, I might do it.
It's so good. But it's like the story, the music, the characters, like just the deep humanity and the sense of, you know, just the way they've written it, the dialogue. It's like, oh, it's just I really, it's on my getting my money for like game of the year this year. I really hope they take it.
Nice.
We'll see.
Yeah. I
They
I
deserve it. It's
I
a
don't
miracle
play
game.
a whole lot of new stuff, so I believe the
Sure.
only game I've played that released this year was Split Fiction, so that's by default my game of the year. Uh,
Oh, I
it
heard that
was
was amazing.
fantastic. I
Yeah.
really enjoyed it. So me and my good party chat co-host Carl of
Nice.
RNG, we played it together because he bought it, and so he's able to share his friend code with me. So I was able to play through it with him without actually owning the
Nice.
game. The only bummer is that because I don't own it, I can't get any achievements. Only he could get achievements. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, that is a
for
bummer.
someone who cares about achievements, that was the only bad thing about it. It was a great game though. But
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
the so as I mentioned earlier when we went retro shopping, so I did buy something while we were out retro shopping the other day, and it was uh on a cartridge for Mega Man X. So I now have Mega Man X because just like you were
Nice.
saying, where like you either borrowed or rented. So of the Mega Man X games on Super Nintendo, the only one I owned is Mega Man X3, which is in my SNES right there, right now, because
Nice.
it's like I said, it's my favorite Super Nintendo game. Mega Man
Yeah,
X1
that's
and
awesome.
X2 I never owned. I either borrowed from friends or rented. So now I have X1 and
Yeah.
X3. I need to get X2. I saw a copy of X2, but it was like $100 or something. So I will acquire it at some point, but once I start having an income again, then I'll be able to start filling out spaces on the spreadsheet I've been creating for all these physical copies that I want to acquire. Fortunately, I've got X3 already, which is the
Awesome.
hardest one to find because it had the lowest, like they printed the fewest amount of copies of it, so it's worth the most. So I actually found out that if you were to ask me, hey, what's the most valuable game in your collection? It's Mega Man X3, even because loose. The guy at the store said,
Nice.
yeah, it put it, at loose, it's like $400, probably more. I'm like, holy shnikes. So I didn't even know it was that valuable.
Jeez.
So
Yeah. It's almost like it's more valuable to you though than that. It's like I couldn't part if I had it. I don't even know where my, old games went or what happened now. It's like one of those things just it was put away and, gotten rid of at some point. You're like,
yeah,
why? But it's like I couldn't even part with it at
yeah,
this point.
it's like for that much, that's
Even with all the digital
yeah, because
copies.
yeah, I obviously have it on the Mega
That's
Man
awesome.
X Legacy Collection, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's like for that much, I'm tempted, but I'm going to start physically collecting, so I'm not going to sell it. But I did buy it secondhand at GameStop, probably in the mid 2000s, and it was $40 then. I was like, wow, this
Yeah.
should be cheaper than
Yeah.
that, but it was, if you were to sell it, that would have been a good investment because it's like 10 times its value. Um,
Yep.
But yeah, I saw a couple other
Did
games
I
like
hear?
Mega Man Battle Network. I saw that one. That was like $115. The original Mega Man Battle Network on Game Boy Advance. Like, jeez.
Wow,
So
it's nice seeing them hold that value, or I guess gain
yeah,
that
so
value.
the thing that really sucks though is I don't know what happened to all my Super Nintendo games. I only have 2 left. Mega Man X3 there, and I have my Super Mario World, which is the game that got me into gaming because my grandparents got me the bundle that had Super Nintendo with 2 controllers and Super Mario World for Christmas when I was a kid, and that's what got me into
Yeah,
gaming. I still have that cartridge. I don't know where all the rest of my cartridges went, so I would have to reacquire them and rebuild my collection of Super Nintendo games.
yeah. So you played Rock Band, right?
Oh yeah, love
Yeah,
all the rhythm-based music games. Not the dance
nice.
ones like Dance Dance Revolution and stuff, because I never actually had a
Yeah,
connect to myself. But I love the Guitar Hero and Rock Band games.
yeah. I had. I know you said you had like a quote unquote electronic drum set for it, right? I forget which model you said, but I
I
had
have
one
the
as
Ion Drum
well.
Rocker, which it doubles as an
Okay.
electronic drum kit. You can put an actual electronic drum brain on it and play electronic
Yes.
drums. I always planned to do that, but I never did. But I just
So
have the Rock Band drum set. So I've got the 4 drum set, the drum pads and the 3
yeah,
cymbals. So
I think I had. I forget. It looks like an Ion similar, but it was an electronic drum set, but you could put the Rock Band brain on it. It was the Alesis DM6, I believe,
okay, so it's
and
the
it,
other
it
way
was
around where
really
it's an
cool.
actual
Yeah,
electronic drum kit, but you can put the Rock
yeah.
Band drum brain on it.
Yeah, it was really cool, man, and I
That's
got, like
awesome.
I picked up the double pedal, and then, you had to get, like, a special, like, adapter for the double pedals, because otherwise the signal would, like, overlap, and it would only pick up one click, so I had to get
Yes.
that, and dude, it was so fun, though, with, like, double bass and
I always wanted to get a second pedal for some of the faster paced
yeah,
songs because the drums, yeah, are my favorite instrument.
yeah,
But I found that, um, yeah, you basically need a special adapter, and they're very
yep.
expensive and they're hard to find now.
I'm pretty sure I
Because,
still have it. I still have
yeah,
that tucked away. The drum
because,
set's gone, but I think I still have the pedals and the adapter, and then my wife always every few years, she'll ask me if I wanna get rid of it. I'm like, "Nope." 'Cause someday I wanna get that drum set again. I sold it
okay.
for
I was
money
like,
for something else at the time, but I was like, "I should hold on to these little, modules."
yes, definitely. Because I was gonna say I would probably buy it from you if you're selling. Because yeah,
We'll talk. We'll talk.
I ranted about this when I had BD Jake on open mic last year because he's a big musician. He's a drummer. I'm not an actual
Nice.
musician, but drums are my favorite instrument on Rock Band. But if
Oh, so fun.
normally on bass drum, when you're not actually hitting it, you rest your foot down on the pedal. You don't hover your foot over because that's
Yeah,
your ankle's gonna get really tired. So you hold
right.
it down. So if you have a second pedal and you're holding it down with the first pedal, no matter what you do with hitting the second pedal, it
Yep.
won't register it. So that's what you need
Yes.
that adapter for, so that
Yep.
it'll recognize both pedals, even if one is being pressed down.
I found that out after I bought the second pedal. And I was like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I know I'm hitting the notes." And then I did a little bit of research online. I'm like, "Oh, I need this, this adapter or whatever, so that it basically after the click, it relieves that signal so it can, get the second pedal signal going through." And I was like, so thankfully got it at the time. And yeah, I'm pretty sure I still have it. I'll have to check.
You're lucky,
So
because yeah,
fun.
I
But dude,
recently
I love
pulled
that.
out my
I love the
drum
drum
set
set.
and started playing it. Because I pulled it out of my closet and played it last summer
Nice.
for a little bit for like the first time in
Yeah.
like 15 years, and I just had to start over because I used to play on expert. I had to go
Yep.
back to easy to get reacquainted with it.
Yeah. I just love that, because just having the 4 pads of the regular Rock Band drum thing, I was like, "This is cool," but I actually wanted to feel like I was playing, like, a full drum set, so having the 3 cymbals and, like, the toms and the snare, it was like a whole 'nother experience.
Exactly.
It was fun. And
And
then playing on Expert, there was, like I think was it Metallica? I got, Guitar Hero Metallica, and they
I
had, like,
never played
Expert
that one.
Plus. It was insane. It was fun. I could play on Expert, but they had it you could do Expert Plus where it was literally all the double pedal notes, and I could not keep up with that. That was wild.
I never played Metallica, but I do know that it had Expert Plus because there's achievements for it, and I looked at the achievements on that one.
It is insane.
I did play Guitar Hero Van Halen, because it came with Guitar Hero 5. I don't
Okay,
remember. I want to say it also had Expert Plus, but let me check here
cool.
if I could spell. Let's see here. Van Halen. Does it have Expert Plus? I'm not seeing anything. No, it did not. Oh, hold on. It does. There's an achievement for complete a career on Expert Plus for drums. Maybe
Nice.
Expert Plus was only on drums, but not any of the other instruments.
Yeah, maybe. And the only reason I couldn't play the guitar is because I play real guitar, and trying to like translate that to the
Fake
the
guitar.
the fake guitar, I was like, I can't even do it, man.
That makes sense. Yeah, I want to say the Expert Plus was only on drums. All the others
Nice.
only went up to Expert, if I remember correctly. But yeah, Guitar Hero Van Halen has that as well.
Those are
Uh,
such fun games.
Um, yeah, so I was the same way. It's like I like this, but I want it to be a more authentic experience. That's why I got the drum rocker. And so
Yes.
once I got it, I wanted to set it up. I want to set this up to as close to an actual drum set.
Hmm.
So the thing though is that in the game it uses the green pad as the crash symbol, and on your drums
Right.
it's the one on the far right. But the crash
Yeah.
symbol on a typical drum set is on the top
Right.
left.
Right next to the
So
snare, like above the snare
yeah,
near.
it's
Yeah.
above. Well, there's you got your snare drum and you got your
Yep.
hi hat symbol, and then right
Right.
next to it is the
Crash.
crash symbol, and then
You have
next
your
to
ride
that
symbol.
is
You
the
have your
ride
ride symbols
symbol.
going off to the right. Yeah.
But those are flipped of where the pads are on the actual drum set. So I actually have
Yeah.
my green symbol here and my green pad over here, but then my blue pad's over here and my blue symbol is over here. So the symbols are actually crossed. So when I'm playing it, I have to do it in my head where even though it's on the right side of the note highway, I have to hit it
Yeah.
over on the left symbol. And there's no
Yeah.
way to account for that. But I've gotten
Right.
pretty good at it. But when it goes like back and forth between the green and blue symbol really fast, especially if it throws in the green and blue drums, it just throws me all out of whack.
Right. Right. So fun though, man. I miss those
Yeah.
days. I've for years now, like I got to get another drum set and just hook it up and have my kids, play on the. My daughter could probably sing and my son will play guitar or something. That'd just be
Yeah.
fun.
It's like I want to have kids so I have something to play video games with again.
Yeah. Oh, my wife, I was totally not expecting this, man. It was like out of the blue. She never does this kind of stuff. She's not big into video games, but she actually bought me a PS5 Pro for
Nice.
Father's Day. I was not expecting it, man. Like it was so crazy, but yeah, it was so my PS5, I actually put it into my son's room, and now we can play games together, which is pretty cool.
That's
So we can
awesome.
play Helldivers because Sony's pretty cool about sharing a family account.
Okay.
Um, yeah, and even I don't have to get him an extra membership for uh,
The
PS
online.
network or anything like that. And yeah, I can share games. He can download them. He can play them, and yeah, we can play games together. So that's been pretty fun.
That's
Um,
great.
yeah. So I'll
Uh,
probably have to check out Split Fiction. That's one I want to play with
Yeah,
him as well.
great co-op game. I haven't played their other ones. The other Joseph. Well, I did play Joseph Ferris' first game. Is before he
Oh
started his
yeah.
own studio. That's Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Great game.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
I didn't know he did that because I've seen that over the years. I'm like, I think I even have it, dude.
it's a different studio because
Yeah.
but he was the
Okay.
director of the game. But then he started
Gotcha.
his own studio. Hazelight
Wow.
is his studio, and that's
Yeah.
where A Way Out, I believe, was his first one. Then there was It Takes Two, which won Game of the Year a few years ago, and now Split Fiction's his most recent one. Of those three, Split Fiction's the only one I played, but I will be playing A Way Out and It Takes Two. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. But I'm looking forward to it because, like I said earlier, I love co-op stuff. But yeah, Tale of Two Sons, if you haven't played it, it's a really interesting concept because it's a single player co-op game because you control two characters, one with each joystick. So it can kind of really mess with your
Nice.
mind,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially if they swap and you're controlling the character on the right with your left joystick. And so you always want to try to keep as much as possible, keep your right character joystick on the right side of the screen, your left joystick character on the left side of the screen, so that it doesn't crisscross in your brain.
Yeah,
Um,
that's really cool. But he's known for those really interesting mechanics, in his games, especially with like co-op stuff, coming up with unique, you know, uh, things where you rely on both people to doing, the different mechanics.
Exactly.
Um,
He's kind of
I love that.
made
That's so
this is
crazy.
his niche essentially.
Yeah, yeah.
I believe this is the case for all three of his recent games. But one of the cool things is that, a lot of time when you're playing co-op, you might be able to see your other character, but you have to communicate with each other obviously in these ones you still have to communicate with each other, but no matter what, you're always playing with half a screen because you always see your half of the screen and you also see their half of the screen, and vice
Yeah.
versa. They can always see your half of the screen, so you can always see what each other are looking at, which is I've never seen in another game other than his games.
That's crazy.
So
Yeah.
it's a pretty cool concept. On the topic of A Tale of Two Sons, if you like that concept of where you're controlling, it's a single player co-op game where you're controlling two characters,
Right.
one with each joystick. If you like that, there's another game that it plays the exact same, and it's a puzzle game called Morkred. It's like Morkedd. It's like a Swedish game or Finnish game or something.
Yeah.
I played it while it was on Game Pass, and it's the same concept, and that was a pretty cool puzzle game. So if you like that type of puzzle game, I recommend checking out Morkred.
Will do.
So
That is awesome.
Getting back real here, just a couple comments here. Clan says the cookies, talking about in the Matrix, are a program that awakens the anomaly code, which activates the powers of the one within a awakened person's mind. Nerd Takes is here. What's up, Nerd Takes? Hope you're still here. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're having a good night. And Clan says KOTOR 1 and 2 for the win. While we were talking about Star Wars games, I know that's most people's favorite. I haven't played KOTOR 2 yet. I will be playing it at some point, but I got to replay KOTOR 1 because I've only played it once, like 20 years ago. And I did a light side playthrough. So I'm going to play through it again, do a dark side, and then I'm going to play KOTOR 2 for the first time. KOTOR 1, fantastic story. Very lacking in the gameplay department, which is why it's not up there in my top favorite Star Wars games. My favorite Star Wars game of all time is easily Jedi Academy because it has the best lightsaber combat ever.
Right. Yeah.
But
I
don't hate on KOTOR. I'm just not a huge fan of it. But
yeah.
The Kyle Katarn is my second favorite Star Wars character in his series of games, which is Dark Forces, Jedi Knight, Mysteries of the Sith, Jedi Outcast, and then Jedi Academy. That group of games are my favorite Star Wars games, with the Jedi Academy being the most recent one, even though it came out in like 2004, are still to this day my favorite Star Wars games. And Jedi Academy, no other game to this day has done lightsabers correctly like it. Although Jedi Outcast and Jedi Academy are built on the same engine, so they play the same, but they made the saber combat in Jedi Academy even better than in Outcast, but the story in Outcast is better. But still to this day, no game has gotten lightsabers correct like Outcast and Academy have. So that's why those are my favorite.
Nice. Do you care for the like Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor games, the kind of newer ones with
I
Cal
have
Kestis?
played Fallen Order. I got 100% in
Yeah.
it,
Nice.
mainly because it's a Metroidvania, and that's my favorite genre.
Yeah.
It is definitely, in my opinion, the best thing to come out of Disney Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's okay. I haven't played Jedi Survivor yet, but I will be playing it. I think I will probably enjoy it for the most part, but I think from what I've heard that the story is not great, but the gameplay is better than Fallen Order. But I will be 100%ing it, and I am looking forward to playing it. But there's still the lightsaber combat is okay, but it's still not like real lightsabers because a lightsaber cuts limbs off immediately. You don't have health bars when lightsabers are involved in if you're portraying lightsabers accurately, but enemies have health bars and stuff in the new the Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor games. So the lightsaber combat is still not correct, but it's the combat itself is pretty decent.
Satisfying. Yeah.
That's
I've been playing through Fallen Order. Haven't beaten it, but I've been enjoying it.
I'll probably play because I played through it not long after it came out, so it's been 4 or 5 years since I played it. So I'll probably play through it again before I do Jedi Survivor. But that was my first Souls-like game. I call it like baby's first Souls-like because it's nowhere near as difficult as most Souls games are. So, but I have now 100%ed Dark Souls, the first one, although the remastered version. So I have now actually played a proper Dark Souls, and I 100%ed it, and I was not a fan of it. But I did it almost 100% on stream. I did a full playthrough on stream, but then I did a second playthrough off stream, wrapping up the achievements that I didn't get on my first playthrough. But I did my first full playthrough all on stream. And if you want to see me rage, go check out Dude Souls, which Paul just rated the stream over on Rumble. What's up, Paul? He's my good buddy of mine, and he loves seeing me rage. He loved watching Dude Souls because my buddy Dude, who I mentioned earlier, who's a big achievement hunter, he loves the Dark Souls game, so he was coaching me through it. So that's why we called it Dude Souls. And Paul loved watching me rage at the game. So, And Clan agrees 100% on the Combat of Jedi Academy, top tier Jedi game. Absolutely. Loved Dark Side Jaden Core. Yes, when you actually kill Rosh in Jedi Academy the proper way, because everyone hates Rosh. And he played Survivor for the combat and loved the Star Wars for story. Go play something else. Exactly, kind of where I'm coming from. Not playing it for the story, playing it for the gameplay. So, anyways, something I was going to mention way back when we were talking about Tron, because you said that you got introduced to it because of like your cool uncle. For me, I didn't. I mean, I do have a cool uncle, but I wasn't really introduced to anything because he's never really been into anything like pop culture or anything. But similar in that's how I got into Star Wars. Is my dad had the VHS trilogy of the original Star Wars, and that's what got me into Star Wars. We really bonded over that, and then it wasn't long before I knew far more about Star Wars than my dad did.
Nice. Yeah.
So, and Clan says only good part of the story is Cal growing as a Jedi and the love story between him and Marin. Cool. I'm assuming he's talking about Survivor, because I do know that they weren't really a couple, but they were kind of hinting towards it in Fallen Order.
Yeah.
But yeah, I will. I don't know if I'll be playing through it before the end of the year, but it is on the agenda because, especially if it has. So one of the things is because both the Fallen Order and Jedi Survivor have the on True Achievements. Like I said, I'm a big achievement hunter. True Achievements is the big achievement website for achievement hunters, and every game has a genre, and you can get ranked on leaderboards based on how much score you have in a genre. And my goal is I want to be number 1 in Metroidvanias, and I'm currently 20th globally, and I'm number 1 in California. And my goal is to play everything on Xbox that has the Metroidvania genre tag. So I will absolutely be playing Jedi Survivor at some point for sure.
Nice.
So, but what are some games? One of my favorite questions to ask is what got you into gaming? Like I said, my grandparents got me a Super Nintendo for Christmas that came with Super Mario World, and that's what caused me to become a gamer. So what got you into gaming? Where was your starting point?
My first gaming experience was with my parents. They had the NES. They picked it up, I should say, and it was just the old Mario Brothers, right? Game on that with Duck Hunt, a couple games.
Okay, I played that one. Never had
Yeah,
an NES, but I played it.
Yeah, no, they had one, and that was it, man. I just started playing there, and then, like I said, my uncle from there basically would bring over the next new system. Like he got me and my brothers our PS2 with 2 games. We got Ace Combat 4 with that, and he got us Metal
Okay,
Gear Solid 2, which were
nice.
that's also one of my top 5 gaming moments with Metal Gear Solid 2. Sons of Liberty, just a
Okay,
fantastic game. Love those games. And
I
but yeah,
always
Ace
wanted to get
Combat.
into the Metal Gear games, but I never did
Yeah,
because for a long time they were PlayStation exclusives, and I've never owned a PlayStation.
right. No, I know, right? And but yeah, the Ace Combat games, love those. Still waiting to hear hopefully some kind of update with Ace Combat. They just celebrated their 30-year anniversary, like I think June
Oh,
30th.
the original.
And they kind
The
of keep
only
hinting at something coming, but it's like, come on.
because the most recent one is 7, right?
Yeah, I just picked it up on the PlayStation as well. I had it on the Xbox and got it again for the PlayStation, so I've been playing through that, having fun.
Yeah, in high school, if you asked me what I was going to do, like hands down, no doubt, I was going to go in the Air Force and I was going to be a fighter pilot. So I
Nice.
love jets. That didn't happen, and I'm glad that it didn't. But I love jets.
Yeah,
So of the Ace Combat games, though, the only one I played is Ace Combat 6. I do have that one. Um,
that was a fun one too.
but what are some of the other
They're
ones?
they're all fun games. Um, 5 was really good. Um, there was like one that I played. It wasn't. I don't think it was affiliated, but it was Air Force Delta. I think I played that on the Sega Dreamcast. That was another really fun kind of fighter jet game, similar to Ace Combat stuff.
Okay. Um, it's not. It's tangentially related in that you usually fly these kind of jets, but it's much more arcadey. So, do you know the genre shmup? Do you know the
No.
shmup genre? It's an abbreviation of shoot 'em up.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Yeah.
so they can be not necessarily top down, but vertical or horizontal. Probably one of the best examples of like the horizontal ones is probably like R Type or like I believe Galaga. where you're a ship on one side and you're shooting at stuff as it coming from you from the side. But then there's plenty of vertical ones as well. And one of my favorites of all of the shmup genres were the Aero Fighter games. And I just started, well, before I left on my trip, but I started playing Aero Fighters, the Super Nintendo version. But when they transitioned to 3D on the N64, there was Aero Fighters Assault, which definitely changed up the gameplay formula. But that was a very fun arcadey. I don't even want to call it a flight sim, but you are flying jets in 3D and dogfighting and stuff. That was a lot of fun, but it was very arcadey, not so much simulation.
Yeah, so I always love those kind of air fighting games.
Did
Something like that.
you?
Always enjoyed those.
Because I love those games. I played Overg Fighters. Have you heard of that one?
No, but it
It,
sounds familiar. I
it
don't know
was an
why.
early 360 game. I rented it through GameFly back in the day.
Oh,
That
nice.
game was brutally difficult. That's one of the games that if I could take it off my gamer tag, I would, because I'll pull it up here, but I only have a few achievements in it because it was so hard. I gave up on it. Let's see here. I have 7 out of 38 achievements.
Oh man, that's got to be brutal to look at.
Yeah, because I'm a completionist, so I like having north of 90% completion in all my games. But that one, yeah, I have 18% in that one because it was just so difficult. It was very realistic in the combat. I'm like, I think I enjoy the more arcadey flight sims a little bit better. They're a lot more fun, like
Yeah,
Ace
yeah,
Combat.
for sure. Ace Combat's always a really good balance of, feeling like like an Air Force pilot, right? But just out on epic proportions and fighting giant, space cruisers and
Yeah,
story I know nobody plays it for really the story, but
they're
it's kind
very
of the story you
ridiculous.
make, kind of the story you make in your head.
Yeah, that's actually a good point, because you got like the spectrum of, like, you got your arcade flight games and you got your sim flight games.
Yep.
Ace Combat's kind of like right in the middle. I often mention kind of very similar thing with racing games, because I'm a big fan of racing games as well. You got your arcade racing games on one end of
Yeah.
the spectrum, which are like your Need for Speeds, and then you got your simulation racing games on the other end of the spectrum, which is like your Forzas and your Gran Turismos.
Yep.
Right in the middle, like a perfect blend of the two, was one of my favorite racing games. Was the 360 launch title, was the Project Gotham Racing 3. Obviously, there was 1 and 2, but those were on original Xbox. I never played those, but I did
Yeah.
play 3 and I did play 4 on 360. And those games, I absolutely love those games.
I remember seeing that for sure. Yeah. It looked good.
So, and fortunately, that studio got shut down. They did release one
Oh,
more game before they got shut down after PGR4. Um, It was basically like adult Mario Kart, because you're racing like real cars, but you have power ups and stuff. And not obviously, you don't have like shells like Mario Kart, but you do get power ups like boosts and stuff that you shoot other cars
yeah.
with. But I played the demo. I didn't really care for it all that much. But after that one, shoot, I have to pull it up what it was. But yeah, Bizarre Creations was the studio.
Yeah. I was always Bizarre Creations.
The thing that really put them on the map was almost by complete coincidence, because in your garage in PGR3 and PGR4, you had an arcade cabinet in your garage in the game.
Yeah.
And Blur was the name of the adult Mario Kart game, because like a
Okay.
more mature version of Mario Kart. Blur didn't do all that well, and then the studio went under. Um,
Yeah.
but the other thing that did really well was a series of Xbox Live Arcade games, because they had this arcade game in your arcade cabinet in the garage in PGR, but they released it as its own Xbox Live Arcade game, and it spawned its own series of games that did pretty well. And that was the Geometry Wars games. Do you know about those ones?
Oh, yeah. 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 Yeah.
Also, an excellent example
Those
of
are
a
cool.
shmup. Although that's more technically, that'd be more like a twin stick shooter, which I also love twin stick shooters. But yeah, that originated from the arcade cabinet in Project Gotham Racing, and then they spun it off
That's
into its
cool.
own series of games as the Xbox Live Arcade games.
Did you ever play that game on, I think it was Xbox 360, that was powered by your music? It was like Beat Something. It's this crazy game where you would like play a track in the background and it would like adapt to the music you'd play as far as the difficulty or the craziness. I can't remember what it was called. I was just talking about it the other day.
I
Uh,
don't know of one on 360, but I do know of one on Steam because one of my good YouTube friends, Melee Games, once a month they do a stream they call Melee Music, and you for every tip that they get, you request a song, and he plays whatever song you request in this game, and it's a twin stick shooter, and it's called Beat Hazard.
Beat Hazard. That's it.
Is that what you're thinking of?
That's it. Yep.
All
Yep.
right, I
It was
don't know
on.
that that was on Xbox, but let me look it
It,
up.
yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I had it on Xbox because I wasn't playing on the computer.
If it was on original Xbox. I just searched
Yep.
True Achievements, which has
Yep.
all
Might be an
360
OG.
games and newer, and it does not have Beat Hazard. So if
Yeah, might
it
have
was
been
on
on
original
OG.
Xbox.
But it looked great, for what it was. Like the graphics were cool, things were exploding, and
I
I'd
had
try to
never
play the
heard of Beat
craziest music.
Hazard until Melee Games started doing their Melee Music streams a few months ago, and he
Yeah.
does it through Beat Hazard 3, which I believe is the most recent one. And
Okay.
I don't have Beat Hazard, but I love twin stick shooters. And yeah, it looks a lot like Geometry Wars, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
based on your
Yeah.
own music. It looks like a lot of fun to play.
It is. Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh, so one of the other things that I don't know if you how much of my streams you've caught in the past, but it sounds like you're pretty familiar with me. But my dude, my buddy dude, who I've mentioned a few times,
Yeah.
he got me into Retro Achievements, which is a community based system where people go and create achievement sets for old retro games like NES, Super Nintendo, N64. Have you heard of Retro Achievements before?
Only from your channel.
Okay, so you are familiar
Yeah.
that it
Yeah. Yeah.
exists.
Yeah. For
So
sure.
that's what's really gotten me the bug of going back and playing retro games again, is because I've
Yeah.
been playing a lot of my games from my childhood again, but now I can play them for achievements. The very first retro achievement game I ever played was Mega Man X.
Nice.
That was the
Yep.
very first thing I played, Mega Man X, X2, and then X3. And
I'm
oh, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I'm secretly, not so secretly, still waiting. I know you'll get to it, but when you get to a Super Metroid, that's the one I'm definitely gonna be tuned in for to see you play through
I
the
did Super
Super
Metroid
Metroid.
already.
Are you serious? When?
Yeah,
I
so
thought
on
you
my
hadn't played it yet. Son of a.
yeah,
I gotta
so
check that out, man.
although the first time I ever played Super Metroid, I did not play it on an actual Super Nintendo. I played technically I don't know if I've ever actually played the physical cartridge, but that is
Okay.
number one. Other than Mega Man X2,
Yeah.
Super Metroid is my number one game that I want to get when I start physically collecting.
Nice.
I saw both the places we went to on Tuesday had a copy of Super Metroid, but at both places it was $90. I'm like, I can't justify that right now, but I definitely will in the
Yeah.
future, because Metroid being my second favorite franchise behind Mass Effect, I absolutely have to own a copy of Super Metroid. It's not
Awesome.
my favorite Metroid game. It's not even my favorite 2D Metroid game, but it's just
Yeah.
it's a great game. And it's just such an iconic game for the franchise. I absolutely have to own a copy of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
It's definitely up there for me.
when I started Metroidvania Monday, the very first episode was me and a buddy on my Xbox community playing Journey to the Savage Planet, which I shout out all the time because I absolutely love that game. But after that, the very first episode, I left it up to a Twitter poll, and I said, hey, what should I play for Metroidvania Monday? And I put a Metroid game and three other options. I don't remember what they were. I'd have to go back and look. But a Metroid game won the
Cool.
poll by a landslide. So I was like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm just going to start at the beginning and play through the whole franchise. So I started with
Awesome.
Zero Mission, because I had that on Game Boy Advance, and I had never actually played the original Metroid, the NES Metroid. But I did Zero Mission, and then I did Metroid 2, I played AM2R, which was the first version of Metroid 2 I ever played, because I never had an original Game Boy. And even if I did have Game Boy Color, but back then I wasn't into Metroidvanias. That's a much more recent thing.
Yeah.
So I played AM2R because I have that, and that's free. And
Yep.
it's basically a Super Metroid Code of Paint on Metroid 2.
Right.
So that was my first time ever playing any version of Metroid 2. And then I did Super Metroid. So if you go to my Metroidvania Monday streams, you can see.
Dude, I'm gonna go back and watch those.
I think I
gotta see
did
that.
Super Metroid in 3 streams. But yeah, I
Okay.
did all of Super Metroid, and then I did Metroid Fusion. I did Metroid Fusion in basically one stream. Um, but it is over 2 parts. No, I did it in 2 streams because Super Metroid, where on the very last one, I
Yeah.
finished that stream literally right before the final boss. So the next stream, I played like 15 minutes, beat the final boss of Super Metroid, and then I moved
Yeah.
on to Metroid Fusion.
Nice.
But then I did Metroid Fusion, and then I did Metroid Dread. Metroid Dread is too new, but all of those, well, not AM2R because it doesn't, but when I played
Yeah.
Metroid Zero Mission, Super Metroid, and Metroid Fusion, I played them all for retro achievements.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I have since
Yeah.
gone back and played the original NES version of Metroid for the very first time ever for retro achievements, as well as the original Metroid 2 on Game Boy. I was
Nice.
not a fan of the original NES Metroid. It is painful to play. A couple
Yeah.
of slight tweaks would make it way better.
Yeah.
I'm glad it spawned such a fantastic franchise, but Metroid 1 is, in my opinion, not a good game.
I enjoyed Metroid Dread though. That was pretty good. The only thing that I think probably I didn't like is I think I just couldn't get into the music, and the music's kind of big for me. You know, I love video game music, and I think it did its job, but I guess I was expecting certain themes like from Super Metroid, and that's like I always listen to that soundtrack. Love the music they
Okay.
put together, like that ambiance, you know, and
Yes.
just the cool atmosphere that they created. Well, yeah, but Metroid Dread was also pretty good.
I got to play it finally for the first time last year because I just got my Switch last year.
Nice.
So although when I played Dread on stream, that was my second time playing because I played it immediately when I got my Switch because that's the reason why I got a Switch was for Metroid Dread.
Yeah,
Um,
we got Prime
but
4 coming out soon.
yeah, I until it was official, I would have bet money that Prime 4 was going to be a Super Switch. I'm still calling Super Switch because Switch 2 is a
Yeah,
stupid name.
I
Uh,
like that. That's pretty cool.
but I was dead set. I would have bet money that it was going to be a launch title. So obviously
Yeah,
that didn't happen. I want to get a Switch 2 for Prime 4, but it is going to be releasing on Switch 1. So I'll
yeah,
probably just play the Switch 1 version.
and I think
Um,
they showed it on the original Switch, right? I think they had the gameplay. Um, was it showing on original Switch?
I
I think
don't
it
know
was.
about that, but I'm
Can't I
pretty
have to
sure
look.
I heard it's confirmed
Yeah,
that it will be on both
yeah, yeah, yeah.
versions of Switch. So I'll probably just play it on Switch 1 and then eventually somewhere down like I said, I just got my Switch 1 last year after so that was 2024 and it came out in 2017. So like 7 years later. So maybe in 7 years I'll finally get a Super Switch and get the Switch 2 version of Metroid Prime 4. But that is my number one most anticipated game and has been for a while.
Yeah,
Um,
it's gonna be good. I still want to play through the Prime remaster that they have out
fan
there.
freaking tastic. So Prime was already my favorite Metroid game, and although Prime 2 is tied with it, literally like neck and neck. The only
Mhm.
when we did top 5 favorite Metroidvanias, the only reason why I put Prime 1 over Prime 2 is just because I have a couple of nitpicks on Prime 2, but I
Gotcha.
love them equally. But Prime Remastered easily takes the cake because of the modern controls.
Nice. What was your like which of the Metroid games in the series did you play first? Like
The very
which
first
one did you
Metroid
play
game I
first?
played,
Yeah.
it was it was either Prime or Fusion because they both came out
Okay.
within like a week of each other. And
Yeah.
I got them. I'm pretty sure I got them both on launch day. Um,
Nice.
I just don't know which one I played first. Let me look it up here because Retro Achievements has launch days. So Metroid Fusion. Also Metroid Prime was my very first retro achievement mastery, and
Nice.
dude got me into retro achievements at the beginning of last year. Like I said, the first thing I
Yeah.
played was Mega Man X, but when he introduced it to me, or actually technically was if you go to my retro achievement profile, my sign up date is December 3rd, 2023, so right at the end of 2023. Um, and then in last summer in July of 2024 is when GameCube got support. So that's when I really
Yeah.
started getting involved in retro achievements was when GameCube launched. I've since gone back and played a lot of non-GameCube games, but that was after the GameCube launched. And before the GameCube launch, I think the only games that I even played on retro achievements were Mega Man X1, X2, and X3. But since the
It's good. It's
GameCube
a good
launched,
starting point.
I've now played
I
a lot more, and I have a huge list of games I'm playing for retro achievements.
Yeah.
Um, But anyways, all right. So Metroid Fusion launched November 18th, 2002. And Metroid, let's see here, it doesn't have a quick link to Metroid Prime, so I got to search for. So November 2022, Metroid Prime. Yeah, Metroid Prime was my very first mastery. Well, I got all the achievements in the game, and that launched November 18th, 2002. Same day. They launched the same day.
That's crazy.
So I was like,
That's
I know
awesome.
they launched very close to each other. I wasn't sure if it was
Yeah.
same day or not. So they did launch same day. I believe I got them both on launch day, but I can't say for
Nice.
certain.
Yeah.
I would have been more excited for Metroid Prime. So if I had to pick between the two, I would have picked Metroid Prime and picked up Fusion later. So most likely the first Metroid game I ever played was most likely Prime. I believe I played Super Metroid emulated sometime after 2002.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to play through the Prime remaster. I remember playing it. I didn't have the GameCube, but my buddy did down the street.
Okay.
So we played through it together on that. That was such a good time.
Yeah, Prime Remastered is in my top 5 favorite games of all time because Prime was already one of my favorite games, but with the modern controls, not to mention it does look and play smoother given it, it's got a facelift, so it looks better and plays smoother, but it could look exactly like the GameCube game, but if it still had those modern controls, it would still be my number one Metroid and in my top 5 games of all time because I played through it plenty of times because the control scheme for Metroid Prime 1 is the exact same as for Metroid Prime 2. It's basically first-person tank controls, which I'm used to. My buddy Dude, who I keep mentioning, he prefers the original tank controls. I don't know what's wrong with him. But it plays so much better with modern controls. And so if you
it's nice
haven't
when that
played it,
happens.
the remaster is fan-freaking-tastic. And I absolutely hope that we get a Prime 2 and a Prime 3 remaster at some point.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Oh, what about
But yeah,
going
I've
back to
now
racing
played.
games?
Okay, just real quickly,
Yes, sir.
I have played a total of. Let's see here. I've mastered 8 games, although technically it's only 4 because the other 4 are ROM hacks of Metroid games, but they're super easy ones, so I don't really count them. So technically, I have 4 masteries. I have 18 games that I've beaten the story of, but I don't have all the achievements, and I have 5 games that I've started that I haven't beaten the story with. So I've got about 25 games played on Retro Achievements, but I have a list of like 200 that I'm looking forward to playing.
Nice.
The one I'm currently playing through is the original Game Boy version of Link's Awakening, which was my introduction to Zelda. Although I had the Game Boy, I had Link's Awakening DX, the Game Boy Color version. But the reason why Dude got me into it is because he's written a bunch of the achievement sets on Retro Achievements, and Link's Awakening is one of the achievement sets that he wrote. So
that's cool.
So, anyways, racing games.
No, I was going to bring up the F-Zero games, F-Zero X specifically. You ever played those? I love the Nintendo 64 F-Zero X soundtrack still rocks.
The soundtrack is awesome, but the only reason why I really know that is because of Captain Falcon and his stages in Smash Brothers. The only F-Zero game I played was F-Zero Maximum Velocity on Game Boy Advance, which I got really good at. I'm not actually planning on playing the retro achievements for this because the retro achievements are really hard. I probably would have gotten all the achievements back in the day when I played this, but I don't think I'm going to put myself through that again. But I've not played the N64 or the GameCube version. The GameCube version might be one of the hardest retro achievement sets out there.
What was that? Was GX, right? F-Zero GX?
Yeah, F-Zero GX. I've looked at the achievement set, and it's got like 260 achievements, and some of them are insanely difficult. So I don't really have any desire to play. If I do play it, I'll be playing it not for achievements, but there are games like like the Mega Man X collection on GameCube has Mega Man X1 through X6, which I played, and that has like 400 some achievements. I have like 330 of them, so I've got like 75% of them. I do still plan to go back, and I have more achievements to get in that. But yeah, I have not really played much of the F-Zero franchise other than this. Most of my experience is with Captain Falcon and Smash Brothers.
Nice. Yeah. Can't forget Smash Brothers.
Awesome music, though, but I only know it because of Smash Brothers.
Right. Yeah, those are such good times.
So Clan says, before I forget, do not play Survivor on PC. I'm going to be playing on Xbox because if a game exists on Xbox, that's where I play it. I play it on other consoles if they don't exist on Xbox. Play it on console. PC optimization is trash for Survivor. It has been since day one. Well, thanks for the recommendation. I won't be having to worry about that, though. I'll be playing it on my Series X because I like getting the achievements for it on my Xbox profile, since Steam games have achievements, but no one really cares about Steam achievements. PlayStation trophies, though, have trophy hunters, but it's just not quite the same as achievement hunting on Xbox, but it's very similar.
Yeah. I think I've only platinumed Helldivers at this point.
But yeah, and it's weird because platinum on PlayStation means that you got all the trophies in the base game, but if you release
Yeah.
DLC, you don't lose your platinum. You keep your platinum. So it still looks like you completed the game, but in my book, if you don't have everything in the game, DLC included, it doesn't count.
All right. That's fair.
So, like, if you go on my True Achievement account, there are settings on True Achievements where you can set where include DLC or not. If someone's set to do not include DLC, I don't count their stats as legitimate.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're not signed in and you look at a profile, even though I have my profile set to include DLC, if I'm not signed into True Achievements and I look at my profile, it says I have a higher completion percentage and more completed games, because it does that by default. But once I log in, it takes my my settings into account, so I don't have as many completed games and I don't have as many as high of a completion percentage, because there's plenty of games where I played the DLC, but I don't have all. I've completed the base game, but I don't have all the DLC achievements. So in my book, that doesn't count as a completion.
Gotcha.
So similarly on retro achievements, there's softcore mode, which allows you to use things like rewind and save states. Hardcore mode is basically just like playing it on its original hardware, where there's no save states. You can't like cheat anything.
The way it should be played.
Exactly. The only difference is that you could use speed up, which helps like getting through dialogue. So you can usually on it's like space bar, but you can typically you can map it to whatever control button you want. So that's the only difference. You can use the speed up function, which helps with like if you're trying to travel across a long distance or getting through dialogue quickly. That's the only difference. But you can see on someone's retro achievement profile if their numbers or the banners around their achievements are gray, it means softcore. And in my book, that doesn't count. It's got to have the gold banner, which means you did it on hardcore mode.
Nice.
So if you ever get into retro achievements, feel free to follow me and I'll follow you back, because I've only been around. December 2nd, 2003 is my sign up date, and I'm now in the top 6.93% of retro achievement players. There are a little over 100,000 players now, and I'm ranked 7,200. So even though I've only played about 25 games, I do have a overall completion percentage of 78. And one thing that's kind of cool that even Xbox doesn't have with the true achievements is that you can see your completion percentage of games that you've beaten, because every game on retro achievements has a flag for this is what achievement considers having the game beaten. So you can see what your percentage is of how many games that you started that you haven't beaten the story versus how many your completion percentage of your achievements overall. So I've got about 84% started games beaten. But every time you beat a game, the started games beaten go up. So I do plan to get that one to 100% every game that I play on retro achievements. I plan to at least beat the story, but there's plenty of ones that are way too difficult. I'll never get all the achievements in.
Yeah. So question, I know we mentioned Metroid Prime 4, but are there any other future games releases that you're looking forward to?
Excellent question. So when I said Metroid Prime 4 was the only game, with a slight caveat, because that has been my most anticipated game for a long time. The only other game that I've been super highly anticipating since it got announced in like 2021, and they said it's coming to all consoles, and then it came out, but it came out on everything except Xbox. And I was like, WTF, you said it's coming to Xbox. It's finally getting its released in a month from today, August 24th, is the other game I've been absolutely most anticipating so much. I cannot wait. And this is the first game I've pre-ordered in probably a decade. I'm pretty sure the last game I pre-ordered was Destiny 1 in 2014.
Okay.
I have, because I'm very patient and frugal, so I rarely buy games until they're like at least 50% off or more, and I can get all the DLC included. So that's why I don't play a lot of new stuff. I play older stuff because I wait for it to go on sale and then I pick it up and then I'll play it.
Gotcha.
But I pre-ordered this one, and that is Black Myth Wukong. Comes out on Xbox
Oh,
a month from
yeah.
today, and I cannot freaking wait. I have it pre-ordered. I'm gonna pre-download it. I'm playing that the second I'm able to. Basically, like Tony Hawk 3 plus 4. Fortunately, I didn't have to buy it because it was on Game Pass. I was very much
Yeah.
looking forward to that. I played that day one, but Black Myth is not on Game Pass, so I actually had to buy this to play it. But I'm playing it day one.
Yeah, I've heard it's epic, man. I mean, everything
I
I've seen looks epic, dude.
I
That
love hack
mythology
and
looks deep.
slashes.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan, although, like I said, basically the only Souls-like games I've played, at least in 3D, are Fallen Order and Dark Souls Remastered.
Uh-huh.
I do have a couple others that I'm going to be playing. Like I have started Elden Ring and I have started Sekiro, but I haven't actually
Same.
played them yet.
Yeah.
But I'm not a
Those two
huge
I'm also
fan.
starting.
Okay, so you're right there too. But basically, once Dark Souls became a thing, it kind of co-opted the hack and slash genre, and then all the
Yeah.
games became Souls likes, and no one made hack and slash games anymore. Because Ninja Gaiden Black is in my top 3 favorite games of all time. I love that game. Probably the next closest one is Metal Gear Rising Revengeance, which is the only Metal Gear game I've actually played.
That's a cool game.
That game is freaking awesome. I remember it getting announced at E3,
Yeah.
and I was like, I'm playing that day one. I pre-ordered that back in the day.
When they're
But
showing the precision of using the sword, it was like,
yeah,
yep,
like
that's it.
you can line it up and slice fruit, and it slices
Oh,
correctly. And like,
you wanna cut guys apart in slow motion?
yeah.
Yes.
Although when I got it, and then I had it in my bookshelf up front, but I actually pulled it out today, and Revenge is now up here in my
Nice.
visible bookshelf. It's right here.
Nice.
So as of today, it's now up here. I love that game. I did only play through it once, so I only have like 40% of the achievements. So even like a decade later, I barely touched it. So it is on my list of games I need to go back and play a few more times because I do plan to get 100% in it.
Agreed.
It's just gonna be very difficult because in order to get all the achievements, you have to like S rank every chapter on the hardest difficulty.
Oof.
So it's good. I do plan to do it, but it's going to be
Yeah.
difficult. But it's an awesome game. But basically,
Yeah.
since then, there haven't been any proper hack and slashes because they've all been Souls-like. So when I
Right.
saw Black Myth, I'm like, it looks Souls-ish, but it looks more like a hack and slash than a Souls-like game. And from what I've heard, it is more of a hack and slash than a Souls-like game. So I am very excited to play this game, and I have it
Nice.
pre-ordered. So that is my other one that I'm very much looking forward to.
Yeah. Yeah. I look forward to playing that at some point too, for sure.
You know what? I have a list here of my co-host on Party Chat, Carl, he introduced me to an app called Fuse Gaming Community.
Uh-huh.
So I recommend it. It's really cool. And when you first like sign up, it has a spot for you to like put. It has a top 10 list for you to put your top 10 favorite games of all time. So Mass Effect 3 is my number 1. Ori the Will of the Wisp, which is my favorite Metroidvania of all time, is my number 2. And Ninja Gaiden 3. Sorry, not Ninja Gaiden 3. Ninja Gaiden 3 was terrible. Ninja Gaiden Black is my number 3. And yeah, I've got Doom Eternal as my number 4. My favorite, when we did top 5 shooters, that was my number 1. Doom Eternal is fantastic. I love that game so much. And then Metroid Prime Remastered is my number 5.
Nice.
But you can also make all of your own lists. So I did, I created a list of games I'm most highly anticipated. And so a bunch of these have since come out, but I haven't like actually played them yet. So Metroid Prime 4, that's not out yet. Doom Dark Ages is out, but I haven't played it yet.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
super excited for that. Oh, I'm glad I pulled this up because like I just said, Ninja Gaiden Black is my 3rd favorite game of all time. The other game I am playing day 1. Fortunately, it's going to be on Game Pass, so I don't have to buy it right away, but I will buy it once it goes on sale. Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm so glad that they're reviving the franchise.
Yeah.
It was because this franchise has been dead. Ninja Gaiden 3, I think, came out in like 2013. And then in February of this year, they announced Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. And then a couple months later, they announced Ninja Gaiden 4. I'm like, yes, my favorite franchise is back.
I remember seeing the trailer. It looked really good.
Ragebound should be coming out next week, which I'm playing day 1, which should also be on Game Pass. But I think everyone forgot about it because I can't find any news about it. Xbox put out a poster like, hey, these are all the games that are coming to Game Pass before the end of July. And Ragebound wasn't on it. So I don't know what the deal is with Ragebound, whether it's secretly getting postponed, but the demo is out. I have the demo on Steam. I haven't played it yet, but I want to play it. but I'm playing that day one as well.
Yeah, these next couple months are going to be stacked with games for sure, but those are going to be some highlights.
Like I said, Journey to the Savage Planet, I love that game. Revenge of the Savage Planet came out in May. Haven't played it yet, but I'm looking forward to playing that. Subnautica 2 looks like it got bumped to next year, but I love Subnautica. That's what Alex,
Oh,
Salty
yep,
Nerd Alex and
yep,
I bonded over when
yep,
we met years ago because we're both huge fans of Subnautica. So I cannot
yeah.
wait for Subnautica 2. Tony Hawk 3+4, I can take this off my my list now because I've been playing it already and I love it. Black with Wukong. Xbox release of Helldivers 2. I already own it and I've played it, but I
Yep.
am very much anticipating the Xbox release, like you said, like we talked about earlier. And the last one I've got on here, Terminator 2D No Fate looks freaking awesome.
Dude, isn't
It's
it?
like
It
Terminator
looks so
Contra.
good.
Hell yeah. I can't wait for that game.
Exactly. Yeah, the music, I mean, the pixel art, everything is really good in that.
So
All the pixel animations, like I think
looks
that's a
fantastic.
labor of love. You can tell. Yep.
So I can't
Yep.
wait for that. So that's my current list of games that I'm looking forward
That's on my
to
list as well.
that came out this year, whether
Yeah.
they're already out or not, but I'm most looking forward to playing.
Right.
Speaking of Terminator, have you played? RoboCop is getting a lot of recognition now because everyone loved Rogue City, which is another one I'm looking forward to playing. But the
Yeah, I have it.
expansion
It's
just came
fun.
out. I have RoboCop Rogue City. I've gotten the first achievement in it, but I haven't actually played it yet. I'm looking forward to playing it.
Yeah.
The expansion just came out this week, so it's getting a lot of
Right.
love as well. I will be playing that at some point as well.
Yep.
But their previous game was kind of like a hidden gem, Terminator Resistance. Have you played that one?
No, but I've been wanting to pick it up. Also got like a little DLC. I think what it's called, like the firing line or something.
Annihilation Line.
Probably Annihilation Line, yeah. But I've heard great things about it and I've seen videos and I'm like, I really want to play this. Um, but yeah, that I think it goes on sale every once in a while and I'm like, I gotta pick it up. But that is
So
definitely on my list, dude.
I because I had it recommended by my buddy Melee James. He was a big fan of it, and so he recommended it. So I picked it up when it went on a steep. Let's see here, Terminator. When it went on sale on Xbox a while back. I haven't played it yet, other than I've dived it, so I got the first achievement. But I'm very much looking
Nice.
forward to playing it. Let's see here on Xbox. At least it's gone on. It's normally $40. It's gone on sale 75% off for $10, and that's when I picked it up.
That's
It
what I
was
would
just
do.
on
Yep.
sale last month in June for $10. However, I just discovered that there's an Xbox Series X version of the game, which has an entirely separate achievements
Yep.
list with that DLC you mentioned, which is why I know there's the Annihilation Line. And
Yeah.
that's called Terminator Resistance Complete Edition. I just picked that up just last week.
Nice.
And so now I have both versions, and I haven't played either of them yet.
Yeah, you get a little bump in the graphics and stuff. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it looks a little bit better and has all
Yeah.
the additional stuff. So I'll be playing it twice, and that one is normally $54. I thought that was a really weird price. Full price is $54. Right now, it's currently on sale, 75% off for $13.50, and that I picked it up. Let's see here. I thought, is it? The sale is over. So it
Yeah.
was on sale for $13. I picked it up a few days ago. So now I have both versions now. I'll be playing them both at some point. And I'm looking forward to playing those because I've heard great things about it. And then after I'm done with that, I'll probably go into RoboCop because I've heard that's great as well. So what about you? Do you got any games that I didn't mention that you're highly anticipating?
Well, I'm a big fan of Ghost of Tsushima, so I am
Oh,
kind of looking forward to Ghost of Yote.
I have it on Steam. I
Nice.
put about 15 to 20 hours into it, just like Helldivers.
Yeah.
I need to get back to it. I will get back to it because I do
Same.
plan to 100% it. And I've loved basically every second of that game I've played. It's just Xbox is usually my priority. But I've got a ton of Steam games now that are all like really good games that I need to get to. What I'm kind of holding off for is I'm really, 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 really hoping that this comes to fruition because there's been lots of leaks that a future Xbox update, you'll be able to play your Steam games on your Xbox because I enjoy playing on my couch in front of my 75-inch TV instead of
Right.
playing here at my PC. So once Steam comes to Xbox and I can play my Steam games on my Xbox in front of my TV, that will greatly increase the chances of me playing through all my Steam games. So that's kind of what I'm holding out for. because I want to be able to play that on my TV. So that's kind of why I haven't really gotten back to it yet.
Yeah, yeah. So it would be that, Ghost of Yotei, the Metal Gear Solid or Metal Solid, Delta, right? This the Snake
I've
Eater
heard
remake.
about.
I wanna
Okay,
check it out.
I was gonna
I gotta
say
check it
I'm
out. I
pretty
love the
sure that
original.
that's a remake of an older game, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly.
yeah, it's just got,
I
like I think it's mostly just, like, a visual,
okay.
kind of cover over the original stuff, but, I really wanna check that out. Um,
I know a lot of people are anticipating that. I don't know much about Metal
yeah,
Gear except for what I've heard from the people who have had on my shows because like I said, the only Metal Gear game I played is Rising Revengeance, and that's not really a
yeah,
Metal Gear game.
I definitely recommend Metal Gear Solid 2. I mean, obviously the originals, but, Metal
I
Gear Solid 2,
have
Sons of Liberty is so
I
good,
had
and
Metal
Metal Gear
Gear.
Solid 3, Snake Eater
I
is so
I
fantastic.
have 5 Phantom Pain because when I got so I bought my One X, like I said, when my original Xbox One died, I bought my One X,
Yeah,
but I bought it secondhand from basically brand new. They had barely used it, and they sold it to me for 500, which was what the price of it new from the store would be. But they gave me all of their games. And they gave me a huge stack of games. So I have
nice.
Metal Gear Solid 5 as one of the games that they gave me, but I've never played it because I've never played any of the other games. It's like I'm not going to jump into the fifth one when I haven't played any of the rest of them. So maybe
Yeah.
someday I'll finally go through and play all the Metal Gear Solid games. I would like to. I did play the original
I don't
Metal Gear on NES at a friend's house one time.
yeah, yeah, those they're all pretty fun. I didn't connect as much with Phantom Pain. It was pretty cool. I think it was just maybe a little too open world, but it was a fun time for sure. Um, but yeah, 2 and 3 are probably up there with my top 10 favorite games for sure.
Nice. So, any others that you're? Oh, wait, that's out. So I just pulled because I had my Fuse app open to
Yeah,
look at the list I made of anticipated games. My buddy Carl, he's always because he's a big physical collector. So every time he picks
nice.
up new games, he posts pictures of the games he picked up, and he posts picture. And this game that he's got a physical copy of is supposed to be a day one Game Pass game,
Uh-huh.
but it's not out on Xbox yet, and it's a Metroidvania that I'm looking forward to playing. And that's the Pac-Man one, Shadow Labyrinth,
Oh yeah, I think I heard of that. Yeah,
and it's. Oh,
that's pretty cool.
Oh, so it did release. It's available for $30. It released on the 18th. I thought when it was announced it was a Game Pass game, but I must have been wrong about that. So it is
Yeah,
out on
there you
Xbox,
go.
but it's not a Game Pass game. I was for some
Wow.
reason under the impression that was a Game Pass game. So, all right, well, and I didn't realize it had already come out.
Then the only other game would be Borderlands 4.
Or
Kind of didn't play the last few titles. 3 was kind of, lackluster for me. I liked the first one and the second one. Um, but yeah, I'm actually playing through the first one with my son. He's loving it. We're having
nice.
fun playing through that. Yeah, and I think I'm hoping they go back, to the original form with 4. What I've seen looks pretty good so far. So
Okay. I have a
yeah.
little bit of a love-hate relationship with Borderlands
Oh
because
yeah, for sure. Right.
I've had a lot of fun playing that in co-op with my buddies. But both Borderlands 1 and 2, I played like the first hour of the game like 3 or 4 times on each with different sets of friends. But then I ended up playing the other 80 hours of the game solo. And so I
Yeah.
loved playing the game in co-op with my buddies. I hated playing through it solo the rest of it.
Yeah. I
I was
can I
not a
can see
fan of
that.
it.
Yeah.
So I I've only played Borderlands 1 and 2, but my top 5 co-host Jason, he's a huge fan of the Borderlands games. I think Borderlands 3 might be one of if not his most hours in a single game. So he convinced me because I was like, I will play more Borderlands if we commit to like doing it as a group. So he's like, all right, let's do it. We haven't done it yet, but I bought the
Yeah.
Pandora's box collection. So I now have the Xbox One versions of Borderlands 1, Borderlands 2, the pre-sequel, which I've never played, Borderlands 3, which I've never played. And it also came with the new Tales from the Borderlands, which I haven't played. I did play the original Tales from the Borderlands, the Telltale one.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah.
so I was like, all right, we're gonna do this in co-op. I'm fine. So the plan is to play through all of them. I just don't know when we're gonna get to it. It'll probably be a
Yeah.
while, but um that it's nice that often goes on sale because the Pandora's box collection, which comes with literally every Borderlands game ever released, and it's like $200 full price, and it goes on sale for like
Oh,
85% off. So I think I got it for like $30.
yeah. I think if you just go on even in the game menu, if you're any of the games really, if it has that offer, it's always like $30.
Because and all the DLC, because some of those DLCs are also
Yeah,
quite expensive full price.
yeah, yeah,
Like Borderlands 3 is like 2 or 3 season passes, and they're like $20 each. So
yeah. Get
that
the
was a good
get the
deal to buy
Pandora's
the whole
box
thing.
version. I
So
agree.
I will be playing through 1 and 2 again, and then I'll be playing through pre-sequel and 3 for the first time, and then I'm sure Borderlands 4 will probably be out long before we get through all of them, but then I'll probably pick up 4 and we'll probably do 4 together.
Nice. Yeah. Well,
So
that's
all right.
yeah.
So Clan says his most anticipated game is Mafia: The Old Country. I know a lot of people are looking forward to that one. He's hyped as hell
Oh
for
yeah.
the game. I've
Yeah.
never played
Nice.
any Mafia games.
That does look good.
I do like the so I don't dislike the sandbox genre in general. Although Mafia is very similar to GTA, I'm not a huge fan of GTA, so I don't think I would care for the Mafia games. But I do like sandbox games in general because I love like one of my favorites in that genre is the Crackdown games. I love the Crackdown games. And well as the Just Cause games. Those are probably Just Cause 3 is one of my favorite open world games of all time. I love that
Just
game
Cause,
so much.
those are pretty fun games. Pretty chaotic. Pretty fun.
Yes.
Pretty cool the stuff you can do in those games.
I call the Just Cause games Michael Bay the game.
That's fitting.
It's very
That's
fitting. It's
perfect.
about blowing everything up. We talked about this kind of at length. I don't know if Nightmare's still here. He probably not, since he said he was only dropping in for a few minutes. But he was on
Yeah.
top 5. Was it movie based games? Anyways, whatever one it was. He was on that panel, and we were or it might have been party chat. Either way, he was on the panel and we were talking about movies that are coming out that are based on games. And it's a huge missed opportunity because Just Cause does have a movie in the works, but it's not being
Uh-huh.
directed by Michael Bay. And it's like, what are you
Uh,
even doing? This has his name
the
written all over it.
it's like the one movie. If he was supposed to direct one movie, that was it.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a bummer that he's not directing the Just Cause game or movie,
Yeah.
I should say. But I love
Right.
those games so much. So, um, all right. So I know we're about 2.5 hours now, so I kept you a little long. So do you want to wrap up here, or you
Yeah.
want to keep going for a
Yeah.
bit?
Yeah.
Up to
No,
you.
this is a good time to
Okay.
just wrap up.
Well,
But
it was
I appreciate
great
it.
hanging out with you and chatting with you about video games.
Yeah,
You're
man.
welcome back on anytime in the future if you want to continue this conversation. The whole point is just
Awesome.
have people on and talk about video games. So I
I
hope
would
you had
love
as much
to.
fun as I did.
Yeah, this was awesome, man. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. It was a
So,
great time.
yeah, this is fun. So, when I originally started my channel, because I had my idea in my channel probably a few years before I started my channel. I just didn't have the time for it. So when I finally got time for it, I started my channel. And the reason I started is because I wanted to do my party chat streams, which are very structured. But after a couple of weeks of doing my party chat streams, I'm like, I want to do something a lot more open and free flowing, so it doesn't have to follow any structures. And that's where the open mic was born. And sometimes I have more fun on open mic just having an open-ended conversation about gaming than I do about structured stuff on party chat, although I do still love party chat. So great to have
Yeah.
you on and just talk video games. So
Thanks, man.
I know you're not, I don't think you do the YouTube thing, but do you got anything that you want to shout out, any channel you want to plug, or
Just
anything
just
like that?
my boys at Dutch Butters Gaming and Salty
So
Nerd, all that
yeah.
stuff.
Shout out
That's
to the
it.
Salty
I
Nerd
like to support them.
podcast.
They're great. Yeah.
So if there is anyone out there who is a fan of Helldivers and you're looking for some Helldivers to play with, go check out the Salty Nerd Discord. They have a channel specifically for Helldiving, and it is ridiculously active. I gave up trying to keep up, like the channels that I'm really interested in on anybody's Discord. I try to keep up on the conversation. I gave up trying to keep up on the conversation in that channel forever ago because it just moves
Yeah.
so fast.
It
But if you're
moves.
looking for Helldivers to play with, go check out Salty Nerd Discord. They have a very active Helldivers community, and I'm looking forward to getting much more involved with Helldivers once it comes to Xbox. I
Oh
think
yeah.
it comes this month, or is
I
it
think it's
next month?
August 23rd, I believe.
Let me pull it up here on True Achievements. August
Yeah.
26th. So it comes out.
There we go.
Let's see here. I might have been wrong. Do they both come out the same day, Black Myth and Helldivers? Oh, interesting. True Achievements doesn't have the release date listed, but on the Xbox store, I already pre-ordered it, and it says, I'm pretty sure it says available August 24th. So Black
Nice.
Myth and Helldivers both come on an Xbox, as long as my numbers are correct, within 3 days of each other. So, but shout
Gonna be
out
a
to
good time
Salty
in
Nerd
gaming.
Podcast. Salty Nerd dudes are great. I love Dutch Butters and Alex. They're great dudes. Alex was my very first guest on Party Chat when I started my channel.
Nice.
I'm looking forward
He's
to
awesome.
having Dutch on for an open mic sometime, but he works evenings, so it can be a bit difficult. And he's streaming
Yeah.
Helldivers every night.
Yep. Yep.
But I was able to get him on Party Chat in that I was in their studio, so he was there by default. So
Nice.
he's been on Party Chat once. So yeah, go check out the Salty Nerd crew and their Discord if you're looking for Helldivers. They're great people. And says, no shout out for Pod 3 for shame, Rinzler.
Oh,
What's Pod 3? I don't know what that is.
Pod 3 Productions is it's a podcast that Farsi and Plan started a while ago. They've got some solid content coming out, so yeah, definitely a shout out to them. Sorry,
Okay.
Clan. No, I love you, buddy.
If one of you guys
it's
want to
good
send
stuff.
me the link to that, I will add it to
Will do.
the stream description. So if anyone listening to this after the fact wants to go check out the Pod 3 podcast, the link will be right there. So shout out to those guys. I'll have to go check it out and see what
Yeah, we got to get their name. Pod 3 is kind of a lore from the Helldivers. You know what happens in Pod 3 because you have like the 4 pods on the
Yes.
on the Super Destroyer. So we kind of just had a little like in community lore of like, you know, Pod 3 being like this disgusting, you know, filth ridden pod. It's like the redheaded stepchild of the Super Destroyer.
I love
you
it.
know, but yeah, we have a lot of fun just making up little lore stories of Pod 3, and they've taken it, you know, just made a thing out of it. It's pretty cool.
That's
Yeah,
great.
love
All
it.
right. I will drop the link to that in the stream description afterwards, so anyone wants to go check it out, they can. So thank you, Renzo, for joining me, and I already look forward to next time we chat, whenever that may be. You just let me know whenever you want and to come back on, and we'll put it on the calendar.
All right, man. Thanks. Till
So,
next time.
well, thanks for coming on. I had a great time chatting with you. Thank you, everyone in chat, mainly Clan, hanging out for the whole time. Thanks for hanging out with us while we talk video games. And that open mic is... This is the whole point of open mics, is have an open-ended conversation about video games. So if you ever want to come on, anybody wants to come on and talk video games with me, let me know. Easiest way to get a hold of me is on Discord or Twitter/X, NerdyNeo, pretty much everywhere. So if you want to come on, hit me up and we'll make it happen. So everyone, have a great night. Thanks for hanging out with us while we ramble on about video games. You guys all have a great night. We will see you next time. And as always, in the meantime, game on.